Happy Tuesday, one and all. Welcome back to Collider Live. It is Collider Live, and not only did Hulk Hogan return to the WWE, Mark Ellis returned to Collider Live 2 days in a row. What is happening?
Thank you. Called into active duty again.
Yeah, look at this.
Happy to be here.
You are here.
Yeah, I'm gonna be looking at something for the first 2 or 3 minutes, but it's all good for us.
It's good
for our business and for our future. I'm fine. Yeah, I just
results or something.
I'm looking at test results of a few exams I took, and we'll be right back.
Okay,
with that.
good.
How's that look?
Good. It looks good. And I know the sweatpants you walked into today. They're comfortable.
What's your problem?
They're comfortable, but I said you're not a chubby kid anymore.
He
looks like Professor Clump after he shrunk.
Well, the peptide is nucleoglycerin. That's the example. I got large sweatpants. Like I got like a large sweatsuit. I went to Dick's Sporting Goods and got a large sweatsuit because this was not for public display. This is just for the home.
Right. You just walked in with it.
I was abruptly interrupted from what I was going to do this morning to come in here and hang out with y'all, which I'm happy to do. Yeah. But I'm still I brought home to the office, so I'm wearing like
good sweatpants.
I love baggy. I love wearing baggy shit. I love it. Now you can't do it because society tells you it's got to be form fitting. And Mark, you're supposed to be wearing mediums, and I'm like, I'll wear mediums outside to the outside world, but when I'm inside, I'm wearing large. I'm wearing baggy.
The Big Show could fit into those pants.
What percentage of the time do you have an opinion on Ellis's outfit?
99% of the time.
He always usually something to say.
Yeah, that's what we've been doing.
Some sort of judgment.
Oh, I didn't see what's going on with Mark's nails. Did anybody check it out?
He cut them, but you know what I just realized? And I never notice this type of shit. You matched your eyes to your shirt.
I did.
How do I notice? I never notice anything. I noticed.
You changed your eye color to match your shirt?
I put on pink eyeshadow with my pink sweater.
And it works really well.
Thanks,
I'm going to tell you that I've told this story before, but I was sitting in my house one day, and I looked over, and I said to my wife, I was like, that's a nice painting. How long's that been up? She's like, 2 years. And I noticed Roxy's eyes. Ben Foster has joined us in the studio today. Hello, Ben. How are you?
I'm all right. I've been better, but
well, you're sick or something. Brett Sheridan, of course.
Getting over a little something, but not contagious anymore. I don't think.
That doesn't bother me.
The hair, the hair makes you look like Foster even more. So.
Well, I listened to the show the other day. You said shave your head and go to sleep, and I did it.
And you did. Did you go right to sleep?
Yeah, went right to sleep.
I like that.
No, I didn't. Right before the break, we were going to go on a little trip with some friends, and my wife kept saying, "Get your haircut, get your haircut." I'm like, I don't want to get a haircut, and I just shaved it.
You did it yourself?
Yeah.
It's good. I think it works. Roxy, what do you think?
Yeah, I like it. I'm just wondering what percentage of people on iTunes right now are wondering if Ben Foster's actually in the studio with us.
I think they know now
so
anymore.
Exciting.
I think he looks more like Ben Foster today. Yeah. I've always gotten the joke, but he looks.
That's what I said. Once the head
this
shaved.
It's
not
incredible.
much of a joke.
It's a game changer.
He's a dead ringer. Did you try that pop sugar? What's it called? Pop sugar.
Whatever it is.
Doppelganger.
Twinning. Did you try that twinning thing?
Oh no.
No, I'm not sure what you're referring to.
So
you haven't seen this all over social media?
My friend Drew.
I tend to drift in and out.
Yes. So my friend Drew had posted this on his Facebook page, and I saw it, and I was like, I'll try it. And
this is the thing that matches your face to a celebrity.
Yeah, percentage-wise, right? And the two, of course, like Dane Cook and Mark Ruffalo were the two that I
Ruffalo.
Yeah, I'd gotten that before.
Okay. What percentage match were you? Because I know what you're
Dane
talking
Cook
about.
was like 68% or something.
No, you were like 72, I think.
72%. Thanks, Ron.
Or something like that.
What was
he tried to change a C to a D.
Whatever it was.
And she got you.
Yeah. What was yours?
Okay, here's my dilemma.
Uh-oh.
Can I do it right now?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you
Just
can.
literally type in pop sugar twinning to Google.
Yeah.
And then you have to upload a selfie of yourself.
Yeah, you do it on your phone.
Pop sugar 20?
Take the hat off.
I won't lie to you guys.
I have pictures on my phone I can use.
Oh,
I'm very proud of you.
Use it. It has to be specific though. Selfie, shoulders up, open eyes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those. There's a lot of
those. You figure that out and we'll talk.
I have been struggling with every time I put it in, I don't post it because. Well,
sorry.
He was about to do that. That's what she said.
Oh.
Let's go.
All right, this is a lot of. I'm getting a lot of workouts.
What are you talking about?
I typed in pop sugar 20 and I'm
getting
twinning. You son of a bitch. Twinning. That girl.
I typed in pop sugar 20.
Oh, pop sugar. They do
that's what I like about you, Ellis. You catch on quick.
I got a metabolism boosting workout.
Good. All right, let's get back to Roxy. Every time you put it in.
I don't get any white people.
Oh.
And I don't know if it's weird for me to post that every single person
time?
is not a not white person.
You have an
and
olive complexion.
I don't know
olive.
if that makes me look weird to post online. Like I'm 86% like. So I
Who'd
don't
you
know.
get? Rihanna
I've gotten a lot of different people.
Ariana
a lot of
Grande?
people I don't know. A lot of beautiful Indian women.
Okay.
Which I don't know. Maybe my features. I don't know.
Was it Janina Gavankar?
I actually do think I got her once.
Oh.
I put in like 50 selfies.
Did Janina Gavankar and Tiffany look exactly? Look at Ellis. Look
Yeah,
him
look
right
at
now.
him taking
Yeah,
them.
he's
It's a
taking
good
a
selfie.
It's a good
There
one.
we go.
It's
Very
very
good.
good.
And it's all people
Yeah, it
that
works.
are
Good luck
like
to you.
way better looking than me. So I don't want my face to be next to theirs by comparison either.
So we got no clear answer on
So
this.
I have no clear
All
answer
right,
yet.
fine. Ryan, did you do it?
No,
You
I
didn't
don't do
it
those
either.
things. I don't.
Oh, what are you too good for the world?
No, I just don't take like quizzes about what
It's not a quiz.
Backstreet Boy I am and
Are you
stuff. like that.
judgmental?
I'm not judgmental. I just think that's I don't know. I've never been
Is
into
he
those things.
judgmental?
No.
No?
I just,
I don't think so.
it's.
I don't think
know.
Brett's. I think Brett's judgmental.
You think so?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
I definitely think Brett's judgmental.
Really?
And by the way, coming from somebody who really likes
Who'd you get?
Brett,
Wait, here he is.
who was
Who'd you
driven
get?
to the airport
Did you
by
get Topher
Brett.
Grace?
Wow.
Did you get Topher Grace?
No, I did not.
Wow, who'd you get?
This is a 74% match. Another gentleman with a very nice prominent forehead.
Who?
74%.
Say what?
Bill Hader.
Let me see the picture. Yeah,
that picture, yeah.
totally.
That picture. Who's underneath?
Here, I'll
Who's,
try
Oh, because
again.
the way
Go
you're
underneath.
doing your mouth.
who's
Oh, there's
underneath?
more?
Yeah, there's
I'm
more.
gonna-
Yes.
Who'd you
Yes.
get? Who'd you get in the second
Yes.
one? Who'd you get? Cal
This is
Ripken?
the one I wanted.
Cal Ripken.
Justin Timberlake.
Timberlake.
Ooh.
I've gotten Timberlake before.
The one beneath it is amazing.
David Kettner.
That's great.
31.8% Kettner.
Yeah.
The fact that I am still more JT than Kettner.
Yeah.
That's.
And I know David Kettner. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
I would rather look like
Anybody
Justin
else?
Timberlake. Oh, you keep scrolling. Jeez. Ooh, Dominic Cooper?
That's probably a low percentage.
It's a 27.5.
Right.
Your boy Thomas Lennon, alum of the
Oh.
state.
All right. Who do we get? How about anybody in the booth? Anybody do this thing? Cody, did you do it?
Did you see all
No. Nobody did.
the
I am happy
celebrities
with these
getting
results.
themselves? Did
Is
you
it
guys see
because you're
that?
all judgmental?
Yeah.
Is that why you didn't do it?
I don't think the term judgmental is a bad.
No, it's not.
Wait,
I didn't
Cobbster,
mean
take
it
it.
as an insult.
Wait, hold on a second. Cobbster, take a shot at Cody. I want to see if he gets Tom Holland.
He should.
He's
Do I
got to
have
get
to-
Tom Holland,
Do I have
right?
to download an app?
No, it's not a download.
Yeah.
It's not a download. Just
You
just
literally
bring it,
Google on your
Yeah,
phone.
just bring it up on your phone. It's Pop Sugar
Twinning.
and then you just take
Sugar 20.
Twinning.
Twinning.
Okay.
Pop
Twinning.
sugar.
Okay,
quick.
Copster, you have to work out for 20 minutes and really get that
Alex
metabolism
got
high.
ludicrous. Luda!
I see that.
good.
That's a good match.
All right, Cody's doing it right now.
Yeah, I want
to
to see if he gets Tom Holland. We had a lot to talk about today, but as we wait for the Tom Holland match with Cody Hall, we are going to be talking a lot about Glass and because we're going to see that tonight. Myself, you're going tonight?
No, I'm just giggling at all of the Indian women that I look like.
Are you going tonight?
I'm not going
You're
tonight.
not
I'm going
tonight.
on Monday.
You're going on Monday. Okay, so
I'm so excited for this.
you
though.
saw the movie. You saw Split. Now wait a minute. Did you? But you saw Unbreakable. When did you see Unbreakable?
I saw Unbreakable years ago. I
Okay.
love Unbreakable.
It's my favorite Shyamalan
I
movie.
love Unbreakable.
Okay, so then you watched Split last night. Did you know going into it that you kind of have to at this point, I guess, that Split was
connected. Yeah, because
Yeah.
nobody would shut the F up about
Yeah, that stinks.
But I didn't know how, and I'm waiting the whole movie to be like, what are people talking about?
Right.
So that was exciting. At least it's been long enough since the controversy that I didn't remember when and where.
And then when it happened, you're like, holy shit.
Well, by that point in the movie, I was like, people made this up because.
Oh, you thought people were
Well,
bullshitting.
because it was so. Spoilers, it's so deep into the movie that
Right.
I was like, how could this possibly be? But then the second we got to where that moment is, I knew when the seas parted.
Yeah,
that's
I've
who
told
would be
this
there.
story a billion times, but I saw it with Cobbster, and Cobbster had already seen it. He knew I was a big fan of Unbreakable, so he's just sitting there waiting for my reaction of it because I've never had an experience like Split in my life. I hated Split.
You hated Split?
I hated Split until I realized what it was because it pitched in the beginning this kind of crazy split personality movie, and then once this thing happens at the end, I was like, this doesn't fit anything that's going on in this universe. And then when you find out it absolutely fits into this universe because it connects into it, I was like, well, wait a minute. I got to watch this movie completely different, and I did, and I loved it.
But the reveal
And you
was
loved it. That's-
cheesy, and I didn't like.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
man,
I
I
just
loved
thought
it.
it was.
Okay.
So-
That's cheesy?
Fair.
Oh yeah, the
If
way
you're
they did it at the end.
Being
yeah.
judgmental
Oh, I
about
love
it.
Yeah, yeah. No.
You look grouchy today, huh?
No.
No?
I've said it before. I thought it was just kind of like here's how we said it. It's like here we are in France. You know, like.
Oh, you think it was?
Yeah.
Don't think it was
fall
clever.
for this, by the way.
You don't think it was clever?
I don't want Brett to
What?
fall for it.
What'd I do?
You know what you did.
What did I do?
You accuse on your show
Yes.
of somebody else of being
What show?
grouchy,
Yeah.
and so now for the rest of the day, people are going to paint Brett
Yeah.
As grouchy.
as
Yeah.
a grouchy. When Brett, before this show began, Brett, fresh as a daisy, him and I having a pleasant conversation.
He's been a little grouchy. He came in hot. Roxy, what do you think?
I think the whole office is grouchy today. It's been bizarre. I walked in here today and I was in my car and I was listening to disco because every morning, and every person in here is in a mood.
Every person.
Yes.
Yeah. You too.
What did I do?
You were
Yeah.
really.
You walked
you
in
didn't
a
say
mood,
anything
too.
to anyone when you first
I
walked
never
in
say
here.
anything to
No,
anyone.
you
Hey,
were really mean to people. When
Christian
you
walked into
You were not mean, but you stood at the door and you were like, hello.
pre-production meeting.
You
Christian walks
you screamed
in.
at
wow.
Wendy near the
Man,
bathroom. You
bunch
screamed
of
at Wendy.
sensitive
No.
Sallies here.
Threw the coffee on the floor and said, "Pick that up."
I love him to pieces. Cobbster's in a weird mood today.
Oh.
Reilly's in a weird mood today. Macuga's in a weird mood today.
No, Cobbster, are you in a weird
Christian,
mood?
you were in a weird mood.
I'm in a great mood.
You were in a little bit of a quiet one. Can't figure out what's going on with
a
you.
quiet mood. God
And
forbid.
what kind of mood are you in?
I thought I was in a good mood, but now I guess I'm just.
No, I'd say you're in a
She's
good
in
mood.
a matching eyes, matching sweater mood.
Are you my grandma?
I know.
Grammy?
What does she say about that dress is wearing her?
Yeah.
Cobbster, are you in a
Lady
weird
Gaga.
mood today or in a good mood?
I'm always in a weird mood.
That's not true.
That's my problem. I'm just always in a mood.
Well, that's true. But I
Yes.
don't know about a weird mood. Sometimes you're in a good mood. Sometimes
Yeah.
you're in a shitty mood. What kind of mood are you in
Sometimes
today?
I've got my mornings, you know?
Yeah, you have one of those mornings today?
Yeah, sometimes I just gotta have a nice cry in the shower. I didn't have that yet.
Oh man.
I have that about once a
We
week.
don't have a shower in here. There's a terrible bathroom in there if you want to cry in there.
It wasn't.
No.
a-
You cry in there just to walk it in it in
Yeah,
the first
yeah.
place.
I know exactly what Cobbster's going through.
Yeah.
Is that he's so excited to see this movie tonight that he's just got to get through the day.
So you're
that's
taking
true.
Cobbster. Are you taking Cody?
I
Yes.
mean, yeah, Cody's got to do something for me.
What's that thing?
I don't know what that thing is, but he's got to like do something for me today in order to earn the right to go to
Husbands
the
of
theater
Instagram?
tonight.
What if his pop sugar is so surprising that it surprises you and you end up taking him?
Yeah, okay. That's if Cody does not get Tom Holland as his top match.
Woo! He's going to glass.
Wow.
What'd he get?
You guys ready for the
I
results?
feel like Cobbster set
Can
me
you,
up.
can you, you can't show it on the screen, can you?
I could show it to the camera.
No. Yeah. Well, that doesn't help me at all. What do you got?
76%, I got Michael Cera.
Oh
yeah. Good
Absolutely.
one.
Absolutely.
64%, I got James Phelps.
Who's that?
No idea.
Michael Phelps.
Bring up
brother.
James Phelps on the thing.
30%, I got Alan Leach. What the fuck's that?
All right.
That's one.
Let's see both
Sorry.
of those. And I don't want to do this with cops.
And lastly, 28%, I got Adam Devine.
Oh, James Phelps from Harry Potter. James Phelps from Harry Potter.
Hashtag
So
twin.
So, hey, so let me ask
How
you.
does Cody get Adam Devine?
There's someone I want to ask about James Phelps though, and I don't need the camera on Cody for this one because I think he's going to call in. I need Dobby the elf, the house
Stand
elf.
by, let me see if we can get
Let's
it.
see if we can get him on the phone. Dobby the house elf is his. What was this gentleman's name? One of the Weasleys. James Phelps. I want to ask him because Dobby knows James Phelps pretty well. Dobby, are you on the phone, Dobby?
Dobby's here.
Dobby, nice to hear from you again. I haven't heard from you in quite a long time. How have you been?
I don't like you guys very much.
Well, that's not very nice.
Dobby's
What's
wrong?
aggressive today.
What happened to you? Since the movie went out, you've turned into a little
Look,
bastard?
it's very early. Dobby's very tired. Dobby's in a mood.
Okay, well,
Everyone's in a mood today.
that's okay. Everybody is in a mood. So listen. So it looks like Cody Hall is looks like someone that you know, and I want to get your opinion on it.
Okay.
I've already forgotten the gentleman's name, but he's one of the Weasleys.
Talk about James Phelps.
I am talking about James Phelps. Yes, thank you, Dobby. James Phelps. Do you think that Cody looks like James Phelps?
Well, first off, I don't like Cody very much. Dobby doesn't like Cody.
Oh, well, I'm with you on
James
that one.
Phelps is a great man. Great
Okay,
man.
good
Very
guy.
polite.
So you're going to say no on the looking like. He looks like a Jedi
yeah,
in that
yeah.
picture. All right.
Doesn't
Well,
look like him at all.
all right. Well, Dobby,
He does look like a Jedi.
Dobby, what else have you been doing with yourself? What's your favorite fast food restaurant, Dobby?
Dobby's a big fan of In-N-Out.
Okay, that's good.
Dobby doesn't like waiting in line very much, but it's there.
Okay. Well, it's nice to have you back on the show, Dobby.
Dobby,
and I hope, don't be
Please
a
don't call me again.
Okay.
Dobby, can I ask you a question before you go? Cobbster mentioned that he likes to get a good cry in the shower. What does it sound like when Dobby cries in the shower?
Dobby's crying.
Okay. Well, it's very.
Dobby
is-
narrates
Dobby's-
his cries.
it was
Dobby
a-
narrates the cries.
All right. Well, it was a pleasure talking to you.
Roxy's
Oh,
quiet.
God.
She's like, "Is that the real Dobby?"
You guys are gonna give him that?
Wait, is that the real time?
It could be. You never know.
I've never seen I've never seen something so beloved one week and then everybody just revolt against it the next week. I think that's what happened to Dobby on the Schmoedown movie
when we
show.
first
because
started it.
Dobby
Yeah,
did the
yeah.
breaks and
Exactly
everybody's
what
like, Dobby, this should be the Dobby show. Then the next week everybody's like, get the fuck rid of Dobby.
And that was, to me, that was a George Lucas Jar Jar moment for me, though. Because when in the Clone Wars, when Jar Jar showed up, and people went, "No more Jar Jar," and George would say, "Put Jar Jar in it a little more."
Yeah.
And then when people, because we did that Dobby thing, and I loved it, I thought it was hysterical. And
I did too.
And Kobe's just like, "Oh, the comments killed me." I was like, "More of it every week. Put it in the break."
We gotta get through that
You did it for
initial.
3 months, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we
I
got
saw
rid
the
of it.
9/8 train wreck with Ellis here yesterday.
Yeah, I
where-
know. I know you didn't know what was going on.
Oh yeah, I was thinking about that. Nobody ever actually explained it to me.
What is it?
9.
How many of them?
Sorry, Cobbster.
Oh, okay.
Start this again.
Please.
9.
That's right.
9.
It's the 9? How many?
9.
9 of them?
No way.
9th.
What about the other one?
8th.
Oh, it's the 8th.
8th.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
8th.
No idea.
I will give it to him
Eighth.
when they threw it in without you
Eighth.
setting it up. It was brilliant right before that. And then when
Eight.
it became like it
Eight.
just went. You're like,
Eight.
what's going on? What's the 9?
Listen, they're playing. They're like DJ at live at Tomorrowland. It's
9?
9. All right, enough, Macuga. But anyway,
I can't explain it to you even if I wanted to, so that's why I'm not.
that's fair.
But I like it. But
is fair.
I don't know.
I think it's been explained before, and you don't listen to the show. You don't listen to the show. What can I tell you?
It's a beloved bit.
There's a lot of episodes of the show, so it's kind of unfair.
50 some odd episodes.
Yeah, it's kind
What
of
are we,
unfair.
55 or
If
something
you
now?
had an episode number where this originated, then I could probably go back and do the research.
9.
It doesn't matter. You got a phone call. Come
Yeah.
on.
I'm gonna
is it?
choose to ignore it.
Somebody
I
go.
don't know, probably a bill collector.
Yeah. Oh, you
I don't know a lot of people from Santa Ana, California.
Why can they do that now? Why can they not be 1-800s? It kills me.
I think you just answered your own question because we know
Because
to
you know.
avoid 1-800. You ever
It's
get
like
those calls that it's like
555.
there's a case against you in Washington D.C.
All the
Oh,
time.
yeah.
There's so many
Yeah, the
cases
BS
against me.
ones.
Yeah, they're like
yeah.
somebody's trying to sue you right now, so
Yeah.
you better call us back. And I'm like, well, I better call you back. I
It's
haven't
like the
actually.
IRS one. That
I
they
fall
did.
Yeah.
for everything.
Yeah.
I got a call from a correction facility, like
Oh.
a click call the other day. That
What'd
was
you
a little-
do?
I didn't. I never. If I don't recognize the number, there's no answering happen.
But that's different. Okay.
Somebody was trying to get a hold of me.
Maybe you know anybody in the pen?
But it was like one of these, like it was a collect call thing. No, I
Oh.
don't know anybody. I mean,
I did. He's out now though.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think Brett might have a big fan base in the
In
Slammer.
the pen.
Might be.
I could see that.
Might be.
I could see that. The internet access? They shouldn't have internet access.
You only ever knew one person in prison?
Recently. I'm saying recently there was someone that I
That
knew
was incarcerated.
Yes, in the
What
clinic.
person do you know that's been incarcerated the longest? I'm trying to think if I've known people who've been actually like actually in jail.
I don't know anybody.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, I think I went to school with a guy who actually murdered somebody.
Yeah, I know a few.
Did you know him?
Yeah. Yeah, just I don't know, just kept
Yeah.
going kind of downhill, and then he went to a different school. And then a couple years later, it's like, oh yeah, that guy killed a guy.
Life
Yeah,
sentence?
there's people that are in the
Yeah.
clink. I know clink people.
Yeah.
oh, clank.
I don't know anybody who's been in over 5 years. That's the longest I know.
5 years?
Speaking of which, this has nothing to do with actually jail, but as you talk about stories and people you know, what's been going on with the friend with the kid and all that stuff?
That's who I'm bringing as my +1.
Oh, good.
So you'll get to meet him.
Oh, I would love to.
To
the Schmoedown
yeah.
Awards.
Is this another 9/8 thing, or can I
Did
get
you not
in on the
hear-
ground
No,
floor? on this?
You were in
9?
the room for this one, I believe. When
Yes.
no, I'm serious.
No, the sound clip people.
The story
You're
when
getting it now.
Roxy's friend who
Yeah.
told the who had thought he impregnated the girl. Did you?
Oh,
yeah,
right.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
she told him.
But then he found
And
out
then found out it wasn't.
afterbirth.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then raising the kid for a year, and then
Yeah.
finds out it's not his.
So what's his current relationship with the kid?
That's where I was going, my
No
buddy.
relationship with woman or with kid.
Kid.
Got
Yeah.
got
Kid's young enough that won't
tons-
remember.
Yeah, tons of emails, phone calls. The girl dropping by, like trying to see him, and so he blocked her everywhere. But I told you guys he does the pottery, right?
Oh, that's
So
right.
now
That's right. The
her
pottery
new
class.
her new scam is she buys things of his on Etsy so she can message him
Oh no.
through different names.
Well, I mean, she's paying to talk to him, basically.
but then she returns them.
Oh, that's not nice.
And then buys it, and then returns it, and then buys it, and then returns it
So what we found out, she's a straight up lunatic.
to try to message him through all different platforms. Yeah, he's really he's hurting a little bit. But this is what I got so upset with him about, because he's been, like not having a kid and stuff, so he's been living it up a little bit.
Right.
And I don't feel as if he's totally learned his lesson.
Always running around doing the deeds with people without the
Rap.
Doing the thing without the
It-
thing.
Still not wrapping it up.
Oh.
Well, then now he's playing. Now
What? He's not.
Wrap
Yeah.
it
Yeah, well,
up.
now
What kind of
Russian-
prized hog is this guy dealing with
Russian.
that he's just running around
Russian
town?
roulette.
He's like, the moral of the story was, I can pull and pray. And I was like,
Yeah,
that's not.
I got to tell you something. The first time you told the story,
You felt bad for him.
Yeah.
I don't right now.
I know, I
It's
don't.
like you're running.
And
you're
this
running
lunatic
around
is going to
asking
come try to impregnate somebody at the
no.
award show?
He's learning. He is learning. And I'm talking to him, and I gave him like a long lecture the other night. He's like, okay, Rox, okay, I got this.
Tell
I
him
got
to at least
this.
wear boxers this weekend.
Right.
But another thing
Please.
about him,
Or protective plate.
remember how you guys called that he was going to like leave his job and be a potter?
Yeah.
I think that's going to be
You know
the
what he's
way of the
gonna do?
future, maybe.
Did he hear the segment?
I don't think so. I should
never
make him
heard it?
listen to
Maybe
it.
How is he not banging without a condom with all the poon coming in from that pottery class, huh?
Wait,
It's like the movie Ghost all the time.
A poon storm, if you will.
That's the name of the pottery class.
You're making a joke. That's exactly what it is.
What?
He has the wheel in his house,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
chicks
he's ghosting
dig
it every
that.
night.
You gonna
Every
come over
night.
and make some pots?
Like chicks, he's like, do you want to go outside and make a little pottery? And they're like, yes,
Yeah.
that is a
You
panty
gotta think
peeler.
about it.
Is it cool
You
if I
gotta
wear
think
jeans
about it.
with no shirt on?
Well, it's the same way with everyone tells you the laundromat.
Do you like
the fucking-
patchouli?
the laundromat and like the supermarket, or where the people say that's best places to find ladies.
Yeah.
And pottery class makes sense
In his house.
in his house. I mean, you can probably get a lot of shit for that too. So you gotta be careful.
Wait, he has a house?
It's kind of like cooking class.
Does he have a house?
Well, he rents it, but,
rents
it.
but it's
Oh,
still a house. Yeah.
Still a
Their
house.
house is
They don't know
great.
that,
Right.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, it's still
Well,
a house.
I think that he needs to be the most honest person in the world. He's dealt with the most dishonest person. I think you should become honest.
That's why
Super
I said
honest.
to him, I go, so he's been dating. He was like, okay, the real moral of this is that I'd like to get back to dating Jews. And I was like, what?
Is he Jewish as well?
Yeah, he's a Jew. I'm like, why? Why is that? He's like, I just feel like a Jew doesn't do that to another Jew, which I don't know if that's true or false. But he's like, I can't tell anybody what I've gone through, so like, I don't want the mother of my kid to know that this has happened. I
You
don't
shouldn't
know.
listen to this show.
No, not the not mother of the not kid.
Yeah.
Any future people.
That's what I'm saying. They
And
shouldn't
I
listen
did
to
the
this.
same thing that you did. I was like, first of all, Jews have big noses for a reason. It's to sniff out your shit.
Right.
And I can say that because I'm a Jew. They're gonna know. Like something's gonna be off with you when you wake up screaming in the middle of the night. Like he's like having night terrors and sweats.
Or maybe
and,
it's
like,
syphilis.
You have to be.
Yeah.
You have to be honest.
He knows that a baby is not the only bad outcome of
I know,
not
I'm
wrapping
not
it,
wrapping
right?
it up. I know,
Like,
it's true.
No, I can just pull and pray.
I
Right.
said that
Good
to
luck.
him,
Yeah.
and he said so. He recently there was two women. One he did wrap it up with. The other he might not have.
What was
and
the consensus?
he
Just too
said-
much alcohol?
No, the other one
She
he
looked
said
clean.
He
Yeah,
said,
that one looked clean.
He said she's a nurse.
Oh, all right. So she
Yeah.
takes care of herself.
Yeah, okay. So she's got some sort of sanitization.
Well, but here's the thing with the nurse. The nurse clearly isn't the best nurse if she is allowing the guy to go without the condom.
That's what I said.
or she just
That's what I
loves
said.
pots.
True.
Like she
Hey,
just
look,
loves
maybe,
clay.
Maybe he is the Elton John of pottery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's just got that kind
He
of skill.
is
really
really
good,
good.
huh?
Yeah, he's really
You guys
good.
never had a thing?
No, in 8th grade.
In 8th grade.
What grade?
But not yet. But
No, but in 8th grade, it was serious. In 6th and 8th grade in middle school.
Did you come around with like a little guinea
That's
pig?
that's the basement blowjob guy.
Wait, he was the one?
He's the basement blowjob guy.
Well, wait a minute now. there's a little crinkle in this story. That's not just like hooking up in 8th grade. That's like, we'll always have the basement.
It's been 15 years. Like,
Still the basement story.
Yeah.
oh, yeah, that's true. He's the basement guy.
Was
What's,
he spreading his filthy seed back then?
Yeah. Was he-
Saturday, brother.
was he-
You want to know what's sad, too? He probably one day will listen to this and be like, I did not sign up for this
No.
shit.
Did he do any sort of like showing off like what he does now, like in a very primitive form? Like, did he build Legos for you? And you're like, wow, that's a really nice vase.
I don't know.
Kinda. Yeah, kinda.
I don't know if you can figure it out.
Now he can't
But
be my plus one.
When
He's
you're
not
on
coming.
stage
No.
on Saturday, at
Yeah.
one point you figure you two stay out of the basement. if you,
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Oh, All right.
I'm disinviting him. I'm
All right,
uninviting my friend.
Don't know who runs around town and is like, yeah, man, it's so much easier to like pull and pray. Who wants to do that?
Pull and pray.
It's a little thing you put on. It's fine.
I will say, not in his defense, but in the defense of people who don't like to wear condoms, nobody likes to. Like it, they're not particularly good feeling. It feels better, obviously, not to. But if you're having sex with people that aren't your partner, that haven't been tested with you, like you can't do that.
I'm just so happy to
can't.
be there that I just don't care. I'm like, if this is the price you pay, yeah, fine.
Right.
And
You know?
the not as good as with it's like oh, that burger was a double cheeseburger and this was a single. This
Yeah.
one wasn't as good.
I think
Or,
that's.
you know,
I think
still
it's
a
different
burger.
for men and women.
It's like, oh, obstructed view seats. I'm still at
Yeah.
the Super Bowl, right?
No, I think I would rather have sex with a condom than no sex, but by a small margin.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Right.
I mean,
Small
I'd
market.
honestly
I get
just
it.
rather watch movies.
This is why I'm married.
Right.
I'm gonna worry
I'd
about
rather
that
watch
shit.
TV, Netflix, and pull.
Rather play Tetris.
Net pull.
Netball.
Netflix and pool.
Let's talk about one
poor
other
kid.
thing that I want to bring up. Riley, you in the booth over there?
Here he is.
Not a girl.
Riley's right here.
Hey, I sent you an article this morning that Joe Rogan had tweeted something out. We can talk about it quick. 'Cause it's not time. There's this thing that Rogan tweeted out this morning. Did you put it in the thing, Riley? Yes, no.
Riley doesn't have headphones, so we're in the process of getting
It's
him
on the
headphones.
bottom. So there was a Chinese scientist who gene edited babies, and he could face death penalty. And again, I saw this Rogan had tweeted out this morning, and so I'm going to murder his name, but John Jianquai, I probably said that wrong.
Jiang Kuai?
The Chinese scientist who gene edited babies, he could face death penalty. So in November, a scientist from China made headlines across the globe. He claimed to have produced the world's first gene edited baby. He had altered the DNA of 7 human embryos to make them more resistant to HIV. So far, this had resulted in the birth of twin girls, although he said more babies may be born soon. Now, there was a big controversy over this. They're saying it's morally illegal. That he made all this money.
Did the parents know?
I don't know enough. They don't say.
Is he the parent? Is he good at pottery?
Well,
Is it his sperm? Yeah.
there's this. I don't believe it is. But a lot of the questions were like, who else was involved? Because obviously there were people that had helped him, millions and millions of dollars. He stands by it. He's like in basically a house arrest somewhere. He stands by it and says that he believes that he has. He is protecting children in the future, and it could be revolutionary type stuff. Other people think he's a madman, and that this is something that's kind of out of a movie like Venom, you know.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because the one thing is it is illegal. There are sanctions against this kind of stuff. You can't do it. The part of me, as I'm hearing this story, I'm thinking, but what if he's right? We don't know if he is. You're not gonna be able to know that.
How
for a
are
long
the
time.
girls? No, we have no idea.
We don't know yet. We don't because that's the big dilemma is what's going to happen to these girls. So is something going to happen to them? Are they going to get fucked up quick? It's a crazy science because they said here's a physicist who knows little biology. He's very rich. He has a huge ego, and he wants to be the first to doing something that will change the world. Wow. Pretty much everyone he talked to said don't do it. We heard he had ethical approval, so we were getting scared, but clearly it was all too late.
What is ethical approval?
I don't know enough about it.
From the
They
parents,
said-
maybe?
Yeah, that's what we were thinking about. Maybe I don't think he probably forced anybody into doing it. It's a crazy story. And this is from Newsweek, this particular one. But again, just go to Rogan's Twitter. He tweeted it out and read that article because it's pretty nuts.
So I heard a story pretty similar to this about 2 weeks ago about a woman who's had twins and they were sick with, I don't know what the disease was, but they were supposed to be dead by the time they were 3, 4, something like that. And so she was also a doctor and she started testing on them. Because she was saying, they're going to die anyway, and I want to be able to
Altering
make
their genes and stuff?
I want to be able to make advancements in the technology for other families in the future. Because if my girls are going to die anyway, I want to help other families. And they found her like doing all kinds of crazy tests on her own kids. She was like, "Well, they're my kids. I can do what I want to them." Obviously, that's not the case.
That's not the case.
But it's interesting because I agree with you, Kristian. It's a little different of a scenario, but it's like you guys are dead wrong. Until you find something that actually helps the world, and then people start to be like,
well, that's the thing, though, right? It's because right now, the guy's a lunatic, for the most part. But what if he's right? Now, that's all. It also goes back to the same story about just stem cell in general. There's a lot of people against it. There's tons of things out there that could be good for science, and some people think that it should be tried, and there's other people who think that maybe ethically, maybe for religion purposes, a lot of different things that just things shouldn't be done. And as I read this article, I'm on the side with most people and going, this is just, you should have went through different channels regardless before you did this. You're a mad scientist doing this thing. But there is that side of the people like, what if this is the guy that cures cancer? You know, what if this is the guy? I don't know if
History's
that's
littered
the
with
case,
those kind
probably
of
not.
people where
Right.
they were radical at the time and they went
Right.
against the status
Right.
quo and they ended up benefiting society. I don't know. It's so hard to do it, to judge it in the moment.
I
Like,
know.
it's easy to look back on somebody and be like, how could you possibly think the earth was flat?
Right.
You know, but now at the time,
That's what I'm
I
saying.
probably would have been a flat earther, like back in the day.
100% I
You
would
said
have.
this
Somebody-
to me about the moon.
About the moon.
Yeah, somebody comes to me and they're like, you know what? I think the Earth is round, and I'm like, well, I don't know if you look that way. It's clearly not round.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, it takes radical ideas and thoughts to further society. Now with this guy,
It's
it
tough.
feels a little skeezy, but I need all the evidence in front of me. Now,
know.
if they all gave their consent to experiment, I want to know how old the embryos were. I want to know all this stuff.
But
And
even if they did, he didn't have the approval of like the people who say you can do that, and you
well,
can't
the
just go.
people who
there's
say you
rules
can
played
do
in the
that,
system.
if there's a government that's telling you, I don't trust the government either.
know.
As far as
I know, I get-
even our own government, as far as stem cell research and stuff goes. There's a lot of red tape involved with that. So
I
understand
get
if you want to improve society, you feel like you need to maneuver around that red tape, but you have to be prepared to
yeah.
pay that penalty.
Look, he
There's
stands
also-
up for it, but this penalty, this is potential death penalty.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know about that because, and not I don't know about it. I fundamentally disagree that the guy should get a death penalty because we don't know. We don't know. Even if he shouldn't have done it, but you
so
want
wait,
to put him
these
in
kids
jail.
are alive?
Yeah, they're alive. And if you want to put him in jail, and because he broke the
Well-
rules, death penalty. I don't know about death penalty.
I mean, I'm not one of these people, but if he's messing around with embryos, we don't know how many of those he destroyed.
Right, right,
Which is not the same
right.
as not the same as human life. But
But
if
yes,
you-
I understand what you're saying.
Is there any logic to how about we just stop having babies for a few years? Anybody? I
don't
mean,
think that's
just
gonna happen.
seriously think about
We'll
it.
tell her friend that.
Yeah.
Just think of it.
That was
Like,
swinging
you
dick
see
running
him
around.
on Saturday.
Yeah, right. We'll tell him. Just, dude, come on.
Come on.
Please.
It's got to be one extreme or the other with me. I either need to make the entire award show about this guy,
Right. Or don't even
or not
acknowledge
acknowledge it.
I'm okay with either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I like the first one.
Everybody's acceptance
I mean,
speech
I am
has to
not-
reference
Right.
the dude.
He is
Hey.
not coming with me
Yeah.
anymore.
No, it's definitely.
You know what he said
How are
when
you
I
gonna
asked
tell
him?
him?
though?
How are you gonna tell him that,
Keep your
that he's
dick in
off the
your pants.
list?
Because I'm going to tell him he'll be too embarrassed to go. When I asked him if he would come with me, he said, well, I've got my pottery class at 6.
Oh.
And I texted you saying, what time does it end? And I said,
What if I have Andrew Guy do a pottery scene? And you can bring him up and help him and then somebody else do
I
pottery.
wouldn't
together.
trust Andrew Guy around pottery.
No, that's why I would do it. It's
Probably
if I
gonna
was
break a
trucking
lot
it-
of-
trucking it through into the
Yeah,
audience.
it's gonna be a lot of
I
damage.
don't
Tickets are
know.
still available, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh,
Going
God.
over to
Like all
I
the
just
podcast.
see like guy punching this guy in the face and like things just
No,
going so
we're not going to
south.
do that.
Very few people that are going to be at that show are actually like. There's going to be fans that might be aware because they're listening to the show. But I'm pretty sure most Schmoedown competitors didn't wake up this morning and they're
To
like,
listen to
oh, I
Collider
got
Live.
to tune into Collider Live
Right.
so I can hear this. So
Yeah, it wouldn't work.
I think he's going to be okay. I'll handle myself like a gentleman. I'm not going to go have beers with the guy afterwards.
Yeah.
But there are the fans that
Why?
are going there.
Why won't you do that?
We'll listen to them. Though I'll tell you
I
that.
don't, that, from what I've heard about him, it doesn't seem like that decent of a
No,
person.
he's a great guy. He took care of this kid.
For a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
He did it.
Wrap it up, guy.
I know.
Wrap it up.
He will.
up.
He's just really drunk right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's a bad guy. I'd say he's irresponsible.
He's being irresponsible.
I-
He knows it. He knows
Yeah,
it.
but here's the other thing. It's like if you want to be my friend, and this is maybe just me being a dick. I have a lot of friends.
You do.
I'm not currently accepting applications.
Yeah, you're
you
done.
have to be above and beyond qualified
Right. You have enough friends.
I have
Yeah.
enough.
What's that line?
I have
What
enough
movie is that? I
scumbag
got enough friends.
Yeah.
What is that? What
I
movie
got
is
enough
that?
friends.
Yeah, there's a movie.
Bruce Willis says it. Come on, get there.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was Bruce Willis.
I don't
got
feel
enough
that way
for Die
anymore.
Hard 2.
Yeah.
I just don't feel that way anymore. I said that for
About
a
Die Hard
long
2?
time.
You
No,
don't like it?
about friendship.
Yeah.
I'm
Now
always
again,
accepting applications.
who's gonna change my life? I'm 38.
I'm impressed with that call, by the way.
Who's gonna come in? And I'm gonna be like, God, before I met this guy.
Well, what if 5 years ago you stopped accepting applications? You and I wouldn't be friends.
I'm still impressed with the Die Hard 2 call. I got to tell you that you picked it up that quick. That was good.
I think about that quote often.
It's a good one.
Because I got
got enough friends.
Yeah,
He
but Roxy,
blows
you
up the
came
whole
in and you were so above the pale that it's like,
Thank
no,
you so much.
if somebody is flying that high above the ether, you got to be friends with them.
Okay.
Yeah. Can we pull that sound clip? no, I want the sound clip. What do we got today? We got something going on.
Well, we got to do something on Movie Talk yesterday that's
What'd you
kind of
do?
like the test, the sugar pop test.
Yeah.
Where except this is
Pop
like
sugar.
It's the sugar pop 20. You know, where you really get your metabolism hopped up.
Pop sugar twinning.
Oh, I just heard
Yeah.
Pop Sugar just pulled their sponsorship.
So what'd you do on?
On Movie Talk, we did the glass hero or villain thing. Have you guys done that yet?
No.
No, what do we got?
You haven't done that?
No.
Get out. One of y'all get out your phone and do it right now. I want you to take the test. You go to glassheroorvillain.com, glassheroorvillain.com, and it'll tell you. You take this
Got it.
quiz, and it's timed. So get ready. Do it on your phone, and it's you answer a bunch of questions.
I'm gonna do it.
You should do it right
Okay.
now,
Okay.
and
Do it.
and it'll tell you whether you're a hero or a villain.
I'm kind of nervous.
You should be nervous because
What do
you might
think?
be a villain.
I think Roxy would be.
I think Roxy's going to be a villain.
I don't know. I think she puts up the villain.
It's the
face
obvious
sometimes.
choice.
I think hero. You
What
say
were you?
villain?
I took it.
What'd you get?
I'm a villain.
Yeah, I can see that about you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Roxy's gonna be a hero.
You think Roxy's
going
a hero?
against
The
what we,
grain.
what we think. Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, because I think in her core she's a
I'll
hero.
go with Kristian on that.
Yeah.
I think you've got to.
Is this it? All right, here we go.
Oh,
Get out of the way, bro. Okay, remain
Yeah, so this
large
is like an
until leading
update
police- that's what- I
going
see.
into glass. So this is perfect for us
Through
before we
Philadelphia
see it
after
tonight.
A group of young women. The sole survivor has given authorities precious little poem. Oh, we do know this. The horde is dangerous and his whereabouts are unknown. He's jacked.
Jack.
Size of that dude. Good trailer. I'm really excited.
McAvoy just loves playing this character.
I can't
You
wait
can
to see
tell.
it.
He just
Tonight.
he loves it.
All right, so
He is.
All right, here
I
it is.
can't believe he's not nominated for an Oscar for this. Like he was so.
He was good. All right,
He-
listen.
great
so
in it.
We're not gonna do it on your phone. You don't need to because we have a
Okay,
monitor
we're gonna do
right
it up
there.
here.
Oh.
So
Do I need to
Brett,
move?
yeah, get out
Yeah,
of your way.
unfortunately, sorry, Brett. I gotta see.
So here we
I
go.
have to know.
Dr. Ellis Staple, and I'm a psychiatrist.
Okay.
I specialize in those individuals who believe they are superheroes.
Her name
That's
is
me.
Sarah
Oh,
Paulson.
this movie's gonna be so good.
That's me. I believe.
All right,
A
here you go.
pickpocket works the crowd.
Gotta
You
hurry.
corner him
Gotta
and
hurry.
demand
What do you got?
Hurry.
the wallets
Come on, what do you
Only
got?
the
Brett?
money.
or only the money.
Only the money. All right.
You have the strength to bend steel. It feels like an incredible
What do you got?
Opportunity.
burden.
She's gonna be a villain.
Okay.
Disaster strikes and you are the only survivor. You feel
Happy.
Whew.
Wow. Why did he
Raise
say
your
that?
hand and swear an oath. You won't break it unless absolutely necessary or unless absolutely needed.
Necessary.
Okay.
You hear voices whispering the secrets of strangers. It's time for questions
To listen.
or to listen.
Roxy Striar.
Okay.
Oh, she's
It's
a villain.
halftime. Relax.
Oh.
Pardon the interruption. My name is Mr. Glass. Are you ready to discover your true identity? Oh, I thought you said halftime.
It is halftime.
All right, well,
Okay.
So here we go.
You are a villain.
Yeah.
I couldn't even read. The questions were going so
I
fast.
can, well, that's like
I
your
can
true
tell
nature.
by the way you
Yeah,
answer.
your true
Well,
nature.
I really couldn't even tell.
Yeah, it's your true nature. I can see
That's
it.
not how I feel. I'm taking it
No,
again.
you can't. You lost.
You're a bad guy.
You're
Yeah.
Why
bad.
am I a bad
You're
guy?
You are
Because
happy to.
Wait, I didn't
You're
understand the
friends
first
with
one.
people that don't use
okay,
condoms.
here's what I don't understand. The money or the wallet. I'm the pickpocketer?
What?
Who's pickpocketing who?
No, I think you just collected them again, but the fact that you wanted the wallets and not just the cash.
No, I said just the money.
No,
That's-
you said the wallets.
That's the villain up on stage right there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Look at
wow.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, villain.
Yikes.
Did you just say? Did you just say
couldn't
the
take
cash?
the selfie I just took. No, do the selfie. Don't do the.
Oh, don't do that.
Don't do.
That's your villain right there.
No, no.
This
No, do-
person in front
The
of me is
all
not
black.
villain
me
to you.
smile.
No, this is too nice for the villain. You needed the all black look for
No,
the.
sorry, you're a
No,
villain now.
I'm here.
That's what
I
you
don't
are.
understand.
Well,
I understand you're a
the
villain.
saying you were lucky and or happy, not lucky.
Yeah.
That one I saw because
I didn't understand the question.
yeah.
Well, you chose it.
I'm.
It was
I'm the
your
only
instincts.
survivor.
Your instincts are that you are a villain.
Happy
Yeah.
or lucky?
I mean, look, if you're
lucky is a more sympathetic, empathetic
Oh,
way
there you
than
go.
But I wouldn't feel lucky. I'd feel bad everybody was dead.
If you're not understanding the questions, that means that you're not comprehending your own power.
That's true.
At which
No, I
point
did
you could be a
understand.
threat
All
to
right,
society.
Let's break that down. If everybody else is dead,
Yeah.
to feel lucky, you're lucky that everyone's dead.
You don't know if that was the question that made you a villain.
Yeah.
That could have been the one a hero.
I would feel happy.
No,
that-
I picked
I'm
lucky
happy
too
I'm alive, but I don't feel
because
lucky.
I would not be happy at all. I would be. I would feel.
No,
lucky.
I said happy.
I said lucky, and I'm
So
still
we're on
with them.
opposite
I
sides.
feel lucky because like I'm not happy about the situation.
Yeah.
I do feel fortunate.
Wow. Yeah, I feel happy that I'm alive,
Yeah, I
but
think you-
lucky.
I
No,
think you
that's the
failed the
biggest
hero test.
burden. Wow.
I think you failed it tremendously.
No, don't pick that one. I said it 15
But that's
times.
not. But look,
That's
that's
a
your
great
villain.
shot.
Yeah, that's your villain. That's the
a
villain
great
picture.
shot. I would
this
make
person in
pots
front
with
of me
that-
is not
with
the
that young lady.
real you.
I have reason. I have reasons I don't like that
Perfect.
Oh, that's
picture.
I love
good.
it. Good
That's
job.
good.
God,
Nice
she's
job.
Well,
villainous.
and then you guys in the booth are villains.
Show the world what she is.
Oh man.
Show her. Let them know.
Show the
Put
world.
Thad's picture in there.
Your true identity.
Yeah. So Roxy is a villain. Unbelievable. I thought I knew you.
Whatever.
All right. So
I thought I knew me too.
Yeah. What's
What
it
were the
like to
other
have a
ones?
mustache that you just
What were the other
twirl?
ones I blew?
which ones?
I don't know. What made me a villain?
I don't know.
I think your mental makeup, your emotional complexity, the fact that you can bend steel and you think that's an opportunity.
Right.
That is
Not
an
a burden.
opportunity.
The opportunity
a
was the one I
burden?
said when I switched my opinion quick. When she's an opportunity, I was like, oh, this is going to go
You
wrong.
can bend steel and you think it's a burden? You're a moron.
A test like this,
You're
I try
a
to figure out
moron.
as I'm doing.
You're not nice.
If you bend steel and you're like, what a burden.
But I think you have
Suck
to look
my
at this
dick.
test
Hey.
through. You have to look at this test through. Okay, you got a strike against you too. So
Not during this segment.
yeah, you do. So you have to look
I'm
at
just
this
upset
through the
with the
prism
people.
of a hero in the sense that David Dunn is a hero from Unbreakable and from what we'll see in Glassland, because he is a very reluctant hero. This isn't somebody that's like, I can bend steel. I'm going to go save Metropolis. This is somebody that's like, I can bend steel, and I'm afraid of my own power.
I've changed my mind.
Okay. I've changed my mind.
I have changed my mind.
Okay.
I'm very excited about my villain status.
What do you got?
See?
Well, here's the
There you
deal.
go.
Now, I don't care about any of you.
Oh, so you have become a villain. You like it now.
Yeah.
All right, fine. So that shows you your
Well,
true nature.
Here's
You're
the
right.
thing.
You're rotten.
If the way that I answer those questions make me a villain, then I am a villain.
Okay, yeah, you are.
But
I
I also
honestly-
didn't understand the pickpocketing.
You're
Yeah.
rotten human.
Yeah, I didn't get the pickpocketing one. It was the other ones, the happy and the happy or lucky one. That one I kind of see. I immediately start trying to figure these things out. If I
I
take a
wasn't trying to
test like
figure
this,
it out.
I go like, what is the what's the right way to become not a villain? And that's how I take.
Well,
something.
should we take it again with Brett?
Is it different questions
should
or
we
the
see?
same
Riley,
question?
what do you
Oh,
think?
he's gonna try to cheat the system
Where's
now.
Riley? Is Riley in there?
I trust Brett to be honest with this.
I don't.
Riley left. That's good.
All right.
All right. Well,
Riley
Cody,
is
Cody's
clocked
still
up.
there? No,
You-
Cody's
you-
gone.
What do you think you would be?
I have to. Let me take it. I'll take it. And let's see. And I don't know the answers to this. Let's say.
Okay.
I'll take it. and I'll say. To be honest.
Specialize in those
Probably be a villain.
individuals who believe they are superheroes.
You
Let's
are a
see.
superhero, Kristian.
We'll see.
Don't
Next.
doubt yourself.
A pickpocket works the crowd. You
The
corner
wallets.
him and demand the wall. You have the strength to bend steel.
Burden.
That's big.
Disaster strikes and you are the only
The,
Lucky.
survivor. You feel.
Oh, I get
You
it.
raise your hand and swear an oath. You won't break it, unless absolutely
Needed.
necessary. You hear voices whispering the secrets of strangers. It's time
Listen.
for questions.
We had almost all different except for listen. Oh!
Well, we'll see. We don't know yet. I think.
Pardon the interruption. My name is Mr. Glass. Are you ready for your true identity?
Yeah, let's go. I'm ready.
You are a villain!
Yeah. See. I don't know.
Wait, you got a hero?
I don't know if you can you get hero.
Yeah, we had a bunch of people tweet us
Wow.
yesterday that they got.
Yeah.
They
I
got
wanna
How
see
do
what
you
the audience-
feel?
I said. What did I say in the beginning of this? I said
I
I
don't
probably will
remember.
get a villain. Let's. So,
Welcome to the club.
I'll let everybody know. Can you zoom in on the URL again so I can let people know?
That's so cool.
We have a fun fact up with the link.
Oh, great. Thank you. All right.
I love that
guys, go
quiz.
check that. It's a lot of fun. So go and do that. Once again, Glass. It is. We're going to see it tonight. I believe it comes out next week.
I am so excited for this movie.
Me too.
Me too. It's one of my most anticipated movies of the year, by the way. Which I am excited to say that because Unbreakable is one of my favorites. You just watched Split for the first
Unbelievable.
time.
I did not sleep last night, Kristian. Like,
Because
I
you were thinking about it.
literally did not
Because
sleep.
you were scared or because you were thinking about
Both.
both?
Both.
Yeah.
It's scary, you don't think?
It is. It's creepy for sure.
Oh,
And McAvoy is incredible.
Anything that deals with like kidnapping, that's icky to me. And but it was well done.
I loved what they did in that first movie, the way they hid that a secret for so long. It was really smart. And now, obviously, they're not hiding as a secret, nor should they. It's the third movie in the Unbreakable franchise.
Marketing, yeah,
it's great marketing.
Yeah, I think it's probably my top 10 of the year.
Yeah, it's in there. It's in there for me, for sure.
Anticipated, you're saying?
Yeah.
Wow, me
it's
too.
probably like Cobbster's number 1. Cobbster, is it in your top 3? Did he leave too?
It's the movie I'm looking forward to the most.
The whole year?
Yeah, so
Wow.
I got nothing else to look forward to this year.
That's it. It's over.
You're taking this over Godzilla, King of the Monsters?
Ah, shit. Well, wait till April or whenever that movie comes out.
It's still it's up there.
It's up there. Yeah, it's like Glass, Godzilla, and I don't know,
Episode 9
too. I don't know. Oh yeah, that's coming out.
Right.
I don't know.
You just
Last
got so
Jedi.
pissed.
I don't know anymore. All right.
You know what's great too is it makes sense why it's the title, but also just the word glass.
Yeah.
Like that is such a sexy movie title.
Well, the other reason for that is because we haven't seen him as Glass
Right.
since. I mean, it's the tie-in to all of it. There was the rumors going around for a long time of how Shyamalan was going to do it. Now that we know that he's coming back and that he's been involved in this thing, and then we get Bruce Willis back, the tie-in it's great. I'm really pumped for this one. When I was going through we're putting together our list for anticipated, and I was like, yeah. The way that I look at it is the movies that I really am like, I cannot go without seeing, right? The ones that if I miss it in the theater, I'm gonna be pissed.
You got to know about this.
I'm pissed if I miss this in the theater.
Yeah.
There are other movies I'm like, okay, I definitely want to see that movie, but if I catch it later on cable or streaming, whatever it is, but this movie I'm going to see tonight.
I'm going to say right now, I think the wife and I will probably take this one in the theater.
In the theater, right? Yeah.
We're going to use some of the 15 free movie tickets we have sitting in our
Good.
drawer.
You should definitely use them.
Good for you.
That's a big deal. 'cause
Unbreakable
you've
was
got-
on full, like we had several DVDs and we had cable that would go in and out, and I'll explain that
Did
later.
I see that with you in the theater, Unbreakable?
I think so.
I did,
yeah. And that one we watched on heavy rotation was that Unbreakable, Sixth Sense, and what was it? Tannenbaums over and over again.
The last time I watched Unbreakable was when Collider was doing their top 50 superhero
Superhero,
movies,
right.
and I rewatched
Rewatched
it,
it,
and
right.
it's so
so
good.
Yeah.
It's underrated, and it came out. It was ahead of its time too, by the way, because it came out when superhero movies were not a big thing. Certainly, there were superhero movies that had come out, but it's not the boom that we're in today.
I don't even think you called it a superhero movie at the time. Now looking back, of course,
It's a comic
that's
book.
what it
It's
is.
certainly a comic book
Yeah.
movie, and it's
Unbreakable?
Yeah, and it's a superhero movie. I mean, when you
No,
look
definitely now I'm saying we call it, but at the time I don't think
Shyamalan
it was.
did. Shyamalan absolutely
Really?
did.
It was
Yeah.
marketed that way?
Yeah,
Interesting.
It was not marketed that way at all.
because
Yeah.
it was a trick. Because the whole thing was no, it wasn't. Once it came out and once he explained what it was.
Yeah.
Because this was before Iron Man, this was before Dark Knight, it's before any of this. It came out
After
like
The
2000.
Phantom
It
with Billy Zane.
Yeah.
The movie
Well,
that kicked off the modern comic book craze.
It was
I
after-
can't
it was
believe
after
we're all
Blade.
villains. We're all villains.
We're all villains. It was after Blade. Yeah.
It was after Blade. It was
Yeah.
in the same year, I believe, as the first X-Men.
Yeah, that's
no, I think Unbreakable was 2002.
No,
it was 2000.
2000. They're both 2000.
You're wrong, Schmoedown.
Yeah.
Also,
I think X-Men came out
it was
first.
post Sixth Sense too, so people were like up in arms and,
gotta be
and
a horror
crazy
movie.
about
Yeah,
M
right.
Night, and then they saw
Yeah.
this and they're like, no.
Right. They didn't, and it aged a lot better.
Yeah.
It
Sixth
aged
Sense is
better.
still my favorite, my number one.
Is it? Yeah. See, Unbreakable.
It's a
to me.
great movie, man.
Yeah.
Sixth Sense,
It-
fantastic.
Yeah.
I'll never. It can't be replaced for me because of the first time watching it. That first time you see it, and I was a kid, rocked my world.
Yeah.
Rocked my
it
world.
was-
He's
it-
so good.
It was good. It was. I like Sixth Sense. I think to me, Sixth Sense is still a great movie when you watch it. It's the ending is the thing everyone was talking about, right? But now that you know it, it's like okay, let's get to it. Cool. Unbreakable to me, it's not just about the twist.
No, I agree.
Unbreakable has a lot more to it, I feel, than Sixth Sense does, and I think Sixth Sense is amazing.
Unbreakable has a rewatchability factor that Sixth Sense
It
doesn't
does.
necessarily
and the
have. but-
music in that James Newton Howard, I believe, the music in Unbreakable that's why I think that I might have picked up because you know me, I'm a score junkie.
Are you going to take credit for picking up once the score kicks in at the
Cobbster,
end?
give me credit on this one.
I don't know what you're talking about. No, yeah. as soon as that music started queuing up, that's when you kind of looked over at me.
I know.
I
I was
knew
sitting
it right
next
away.
to Stuckman.
Yeah.
And
knew the music
when
too.
we were watching it, and as soon as the music kicked in, he was like, and I was like, what's What's going on with this guy?
Yeah, it was
and then the reveal, and he knew. Yeah, he knew it from the
I
music.
listened to that because that's the
Wild.
same song that plays during that reveal in Split is the scene in Unbreakable when he walks. He's in the train station.
train?
He's in the train station. He's got his arms and he's touching people, and that music is playing. I can't tell you how many times I've listened to that piece of music in my car, like in general. So when that kicked in, I lost it, and a lot of people in the theater didn't know, but I just had listened to that piece so many times.
I just referenced that train station scene and telling a story the other day because I like to go out on Christmas Eve at 11 o'clock at night and go in, like when I'm done shopping, but everybody else is scrambling, and I just walk through like
Touching
Target
girlfriends.
like this.
Yeah.
And
Sing Who's the Rotten People. Right.
Also,
think
Roxy,
yeah.
I need to challenge you on something that you said.
Uh-oh.
The Sixth Sense probably has some of the best rewatchability because of the twist. When you go back and you rewatch that movie, you pick up on all the hints.
I agree once. It's my favorite of his movies. I'll rewatch it all the time, but I'm
I don't
just
know if you
saying
will.
that I will. But I think
Okay.
you watch it once, you
proof.
rewatch it, and you pick up on all that,
Yeah.
and then it doesn't. I get what Kristian's saying, why he puts Unbreakable for that.
And I love Sixth Sense.
Let's
I
talk
give a
about
split?
Signs.
Oh,
too.
it's the best.
Signs. Signs is my favorite Shyamalan movie.
Really?
Yeah, I think
I like Signs.
that was.
I like Signs too.
endlessly rewatched.
When
I own Unbreakable.
Yes.
Signs.
Yeah, Lady in the
Sixth
Water.
Sense. Was on a Shyamalan kick and got every single when Blockbuster was going out of business.
Well, I
So
saw, but what was the one that you did? Signs. When I saw Signs in the theater the first time, I remember leaving going, it got that movie to me got better
I was
every time.
blown away in the
It got
theater.
better for me every time I watched it. It's still the end. I will say this, I do like Signs very much.
Uh-oh,
I
here
think
it comes.
Quiet Place was took things from Signs and just expanded on it.
Well, it had quite a few years.
That's what I mean. Expanded on it.
What?
I just got more personality out of Signs. You know, because in Signs they're allowed to talk.
and you got Mel Gibson, Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, the kids are great too, though. Like
Yeah.
the kids
Yeah.
in Signs
Culkin.
are
Classic
fantastic.
Culkin.
Girls.
You got a
Is it
Breslin
Culkin?
and you got a
Yeah, oh, it's
Culkin.
Breslin, right,
Yeah,
right.
And yeah, I just think that casting was just so. And again, you can show your personality more when you can talk at a normal volume.
Right.
Can
The
I give
Village
a-
also underrated. Sorry.
Can I give a spoiler from Split for a second?
Yes.
Or no?
If you haven't seen
Okay.
Split yet,
So
tune out.
here's what I thought was happening the whole movie. I'm curious if any of you guys were thinking that this was happening. What's her name? Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yes.
From the beginning, when we see the girls in the car and she's in the front seat, and he turns to her, he doesn't see her at first. She makes the noise, and then he gasses her last. I was like, oh, the twist is they're one, and she's one of she's one of the 23 or
Personnel.
like a Tyler
24.
Durden.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of stuff that
and then as we're going through, because they're getting rooms separated and whatnot, I was like, holy, the twist is she's the beast, or this is what's the whole time I'm like, I've got this. And then at the end, when I was wrong, I've never felt better.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I really thought that I had nailed it, and that was not what the twist was.
and that happened to me throughout the movie.
You
too.
thought the same thing?
Yeah, a lot of
things like that?
Something close to it.
Are you
yeah.
guys watching the movies for the twist though? Because once I get in the movie, I'm just not even thinking like, oh, there's going to be a twist.
Do you
I'm
mean
just,
M. Night movies, or do you mean movies in general?
Movies in general, but particularly M. Night movies.
I
Like, like
think-
tonight, are you going in with? I think everybody's going to go in with this mentality that they're trying to just Clouseau every
No,
scene and make sure.
I'm not. I don't think he needs to do a twist in this movie. I think that there was a twist in the first one. I think that there was a twist in the second one because you didn't know it was the second one. I don't think you need to do.
I think there's going to be something.
I don't think you need it. I don't think you need to put the pressure on yourself to do it, because if it doesn't pay off, I think this is just the end of the trilogy.
But
Are
that
you
might
just
have been
telling
the-
yourself that so that you're not looking?
No, but
that
I'm
might
not
have been the
looking.
thing that he started, that he got inspired with at the beginning.
Right.
Is that, oh, there's this other twist that I want to do, and in order to get there, I need to do this and this and this, and then that's what Split was. So maybe his big idea was whatever happens at the end of this movie.
I think that's what shows his brilliance, though, is that he's, from the get-go, then he's known as the twist guy, and that he can continue to reinvent it and do the twist that you aren't seeing.
The Visit was a great twist.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that's what's cool about it, because I think at first you go, oh, he's going to do a twist every time, and you could see it coming, and it's hard to see him coming.
But then even though I am the person who's guessing the entire time, this is a twist, this is a
Yeah.
twist, I'm wrong.
Yeah,
So
you
that's
got
the
you got
great
twisted
part.
on the
Yeah.
twisting.
Do we know if anyone's seen it yet?
In the world?
Well, I mean,
He's
I
touring
think he's
all
seen
around the
it. I
world
think
right
M.
now,
Night's
but
seen it.
I don't think
seen it.
I don't
think
know anybody that's seen it.
Sorry, Cobbster, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying he's touring around right now because we're best friends. We hung out at
Oh, he's
Comic-Con.
touring?
Yeah, he's just been tweeting saying he's touring around the world, but I don't know anyone that's
But
seen
nobody
it.
inside our circle has seen it.
Nah, I don't think
we're
so.
gonna
We
see
might
it
be the
tonight.
first.
Okay, because I always wonder if there's any kind of.
I haven't heard any,
Yeah.
I mean, there's tons of buzz.
I don't.
I hope
believe
it
Buzz
shatters
anymore.
expectations.
Me too.
But
But I
I'm
don't believe Buzz anymore because when I went, because before there was like chatter in here, like, oh, I hear the new Creed isn't that good. I hear it's bad. I hear it's not good at all. I'm like, really? And it was really good.
Oh, it was great.
I didn't hear that.
I heard it was a big conversation that was going on here one day, and it's like, at all those movies, that one's going to be the worst. And I'm like, how do you know? I heard a couple people say it was bad. They saw it already. I'm like, who are these people?
Yeah.
And it is,
Who are these people?
who are these people?
I
What are
was
these
hearing-
people giving homes and watts
I
and
mean,
such?
are,
what
are
they
you
now?
going in watching with clear eyes? I mean, come on.
I was hearing the same thing about The Upside. I saw it last night, and I'm so happy to say it was so good. So,
Is it up? Is it down? I mean, figure it out.
What
Which
side is it
direction
on?
And
is
who's
it?
hosting the Oscars? I mean, come on. All right, with that, we're going to go to break. When we get back, we're going to talk about Captain Marvel. There was a trailer that was released. Mark is not going to be here. Mark is going to leave us. for
I'll
today.
consider being your friend out there.
All right, well, Mark-
I'll consider being a friend.
Mark Ellis, thank you for joining us. We'll be
I'll
back
consider it.
with Mark Reilly and Macuga, I think. And then at 11:30, we have producer Todd Garner joining us in studio today. So, guys, well, join us. Captain Marvel will talk when we get back.
Hello there. No, it's not late to the party. That's actually from Obi-Wan Kenobi. You didn't know that? Well, you should, and now you do. Jedi Council. What is it? It's about Star Wars, obviously. It's Jedi Council. Every week, the latest and greatest in Star Wars movie news. Myself and Ken Knapsack, that's right, the pit boss himself. We have a guest on, and we talk about everything happening in the world of Star Wars. If it's the movie news, the TV news, canon news, comic books, games, and then we take questions from you guys on Facebook and Twitter. It's a lot of fun. We've been doing it for a couple of years now. I'm still excited talking about it. The fan base is coming together again. I believe it is. I think it is. I hope it is. And we're talking Star Wars, so we'd like you. That's right. All of you. If you're not a fan of Star Wars, come on over and join us every Thursday for Collider Jedi Council here on Collider Video. And we have an Apple Podcast feed or Podcast One, wherever you want to go if you listen to podcasts. And not only do you get Collider Jedi Council every week on Thursday, The Rule of Two with Mark Fernandez and Mark Reilly, that's on every week. I believe it drops on Wednesday. It's on one of these days. It's a good show. You should listen to it. I like it. I listen to it. I haven't listened to it once.
9.
Hey guys, Ryan Satin here from ProWrestlingSheet.com. And if you're a pro wrestling fan, which I hope you are, even if it's in secret, then you should be checking out Wrestling Sheet Radio Weekly. We've got a bunch of shows in the podcast feed. We've got weekly recaps from myself and John Roca, which you guys will probably know from the Collider family. That's for Raw, that's for SmackDown. We've also got the weekly roundup of wrestling news. It's a show I host called Wrestling Sheet Radio with Jamie Iovine and Elijah Bates. And we've also got a bunch of other stuff in our YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/wrestling sheet. So check it out, subscribe, and I hope you guys dig it.
Hey everyone, Mark Ellis here. You know, when I'm not trying to clone dinosaurs or drinking at my neighborhood watering hole, I am probably hosting Collider Movie Talk. It's a flagship show here at Collider. I like to say that because I'm the host of it. It's every day, almost. It's 4 days a week, which is still pretty good, above 50%. You can watch it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. 4 p.m. Los Angeles time is when we do it. It's live, so you can participate in the live chat room. Go ahead and give us your thoughts on every story we have coming because it's all the latest movie news of the day. Who did what at the box office? What horrible Redbox movies Bruce Willis signed on to? The DC, the Marvel, the Star Warses, the Lord of the Rings. Are they making new? I think it's a TV show, and we still might talk about it anyway because we love movies around here. It's myself and an expert panel of guests, including John Roca, Perry Nemiroff, Jeff Snyder, and other noted noters of note. You guys are going to love this show, and then we take your live Twitter questions at the end of the show at Collider Video. You can always use the hashtag Collider Movie Talk to get in touch with us, so subscribe right here to Collider Video. Check out Movie Talk, and check out the Collider Movie Talk podcast feed. We have a podcast feed now. You don't have to look at this handsomeness. You can just listen to it, whether you're driving to work, whether you're driving from work, or you don't have a job, but you have a basement and ears. listeners, you can listen to Collider Movie Talks feed. You can get it at Apple Podcasts or on iTunes. You also get Mailbag. That's the show that's hosted by Perry Nemiroff a lot more professionally than I run this pirate ship. That's our weekend show where she takes your letters. I don't know if you write them or you email them. You have to ask her. And Afterthoughts, hosted by Ryan Snelling and Jay Williams. I almost said Ryan Williams and Jay Snelling. Would anybody have known the difference? I certainly would. I would have felt bad about it because I'm a nice person, and that's why I host Collider Movie Talk. Check it out in video form or on our podcast feed.
What's up, Collider fans? If you are a fan of television and you want to watch a guy that looks like me and a guy named Thad Williams talk about TV every single Friday, subscribe to the Collider channel. Collider Podcast is where you can find the video. We have our own iTunes feed, hashtag Collider TV Talk. You can find on iTunes or wherever you find your podcasts and you listen to them in your ear holes. That's where Collider TV Talk comes at you. We talk about TV news. We talk about shows we love, shows that we don't love, and most importantly, we don't read any books because TV has nothing to do with reading. We also have a show called Hypothetical Questions with myself and Roxy Striar and all kinds of reviews right here at the Collider Podcast channel and the Collider TV Talk feed. Subscribe, rate, like, tell your friends, tell all your friends and tell their friends, and before you know it, it's a pyramid scheme of television. I'm Josh Macuga. You can see Thad Williams and myself along with Roxy Striar and all the Collider personalities all the time right here on Collider TV Talk. As always, put down the book, pick up the remote.
Hey everyone, I'm Scott Movie Manson. Just to let you know, if you already don't, every Friday here on Collider Video, I host a weekly film review series called Movie Review Talk. The title says it all. Every week I'm joined by two guest critics of my choice, and they're never the same. We review the new films. We pick something that's streaming that you might not know about, but is really great. And we pick a Blu-ray for something that you might have missed in theaters. It is fun. It is infectious. It is the Citizen Kane of movie review shows, and it's only right here on Collider with this guy, Scott Movie Mance, Mr. Movie Release Dates himself. Check it out every Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific, only on Collider Video.
That's fair. Well, I guess we're back. We're back on Collider Live. It's Wednesday, and we've lost one Mark Ellis and picked up one producer, Mark Yodi Reilly.
Hi.
How are you? You going to be at the Schmoedown Awards on Saturday?
Of course I am.
Hell yeah, nominated for a ton of awards.
I can't believe it.
Team of the year.
Team of the year, I can believe.
New team of the year.
New team of the year, I can believe.
Match of the year.
Match, okay.
Yeah, Babyface. I mean, you got like
Babyface of the year, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Which match?
Shirewolves.
Yeah, it's spectacular.
Spectacular.
I mean, how great was that match?
Was
I did vote for that.
That was one of my
Did
favorite matches of all time.
Yeah, it's going to be good. Brett Sheridan will be at the awards. A lot of us are going to be at the awards, and you guys, once again, can get your tickets. Head on over to, just Google it, Eventbrite, Schmoedown. So I saw a whole post in there, too, because what do you guys think this is? Because New York, we sold out in 3 days. And then there was a post in the Movie Trivia Schmoedown page about why LA takes long. We always sell out, but it always takes longer to do it. And so the argument, there were a few arguments in the page. The first argument was that they know that we're going to be back in LA. For example, we're going to be back in March. We're doing
why LA? I was like, what's why LA?
No, why?
Why
LA,
Los Angeles takes
correct,
longer?
Correct. So the free for all, which is 35 competitors, all going. It's like our Royal Rumble. That's going to be live this year in March. Tickets aren't going on sale yet, but they will be. I think that one will sell out pretty fast, but we'll see. 3 days, I don't know. But the argument was because they know we'll be back in LA, so they expect it, right? Other argument was because there is because parking and stuff is very hard in LA. Traveling, getting around in LA.
That's actually
tough.
true.
It's really hard.
Really hard, too, when they put trash cans out.
Yeah.
It's very true.
Can I tell you what it actually is, though?
Yeah.
I think I know what the real reason is,
What is
though.
that?
I think we have, and by we I mean the Schmoedown has more fans on the East Coast because, and I don't know if that's actually true, but more loyal fans there because growing up on the East Coast, you can attest to this. When it is cold and you can't do what people do in Los Angeles,
You want to do it if you have a chance to do it.
You stay indoors and you watch things.
You do.
Oh, I see what you're
somebody
saying.
who does drugs, or you're somebody who becomes obsessed with like pop culture or whatever it is. And I feel like when you can't go outside, it's below 7, and you need like friends or whatever it is, or attachment to something. You become obsessed with things.
Sure, I think it's a mixture of all of it. I think it's because we're in LA, and I think it's because the accessibility is there. People know that they'll have a chance to do it. And I say that too. We've already. sold 150 some odd tickets for fans, and I only really wanted like 150 or so fans because we're going to have like 200 people when it comes to the competitors and their guests to combine to close to 400 people there. So you can still get your tickets if you want to get them. It's going to be insane because every Collider personality you can imagine is going to be there. And we're doing the Yodi Award to honor the late great John Schnepp. Nice. So that's going to be, and Holly.
She's going to be there.
She's going to be there accepting
awesome.
the award. So that's going to be a nice emotional passionate moment for all of us because it's going to be. It just made sense.
Are you still going to have Amy and Coy speak? You think? Or?
No, I think that I'm going to do it.
Oh,
I think I'm going to do
really
it.
Lovely.
Yeah, I think that for me, I thought about it as I was going over the presenters, and there's a lot of awards that different people will be giving out, and I said it makes more sense for me to do it, and I'll go up there, say a few words, we'll probably show a nice little video.
Do you get nervous about that kind of thing?
No, not when it comes to stage stuff anymore. I think that the good news about doing stand-up for so long, it's just a weird thing that happens.
Well, that preps you for a different kind of thing, though. Like, I wouldn't think you get nervous about being on stage, telling jokes, all of that. But when it comes to like your friendships,
you want to honor him.
You
want to honor him for sure. I mean, I want to make sure that I say the right things. I mean, even look to the more personal side of things. Like when my brother passed away, I stood in front of everybody and talked. And my other brother had a very well written speech that just was great, heartfelt.
So you guys gave the eulogy.
It was like it was more like my brother wanted he want more of a celebration for his stuff. So we all said words, and my brother Brian said something like really it was it was his twin, So he's written heartfelt. This whole thing, not that mine wasn't heartfelt, but I knew from the relationship that I had with my brother that I was going to go up and just speak from the heart. Mm-hmm. And I did it. And I also, there's that pressure that you're talking about. You want to honor the person you're speaking about, but you also, I think that but the reason I brought up the stand-up thing, the same way that I'll do it on Saturday night or Saturday afternoon is, it's that thing that just happens. And I'm sure you still know from doing it as long as you did too. You get to a place after a while that the nerves are always there before a show. That's just part of it. But when you're on stage, you're not paying attention to people. You're reading the energy. The energy is kind of dictating where you're going. It's pushing you in that type of position, and it just happens when you're doing stand up. Like you forget that really you're not paying. Oh, that person's looking at me. Oh wait, did I make that person laugh? You can't think that way. You just can't. Or in the example of what I'm going to be doing on Saturday, it's like I'm not going to be like, oh wait, am I doing a good job here? I'm just thinking, I'm talking about my friend. Yeah. I'm going to tell you what he meant to me in general. I'm also going to tell you about the things that he did, his support for the Schmoedown. Like, I loved my conversations with Schnepp about the Schmoedown. He wasn't a wrestling guy, but he got it. He was so into always pitching me characters. There's something that I could talk about on stage. I'll talk about it on Saturday, and I'll even say it here too. He wanted to go heel so badly. You
wouldn't let him?
No, we were going to. He had this whole thing. He wanted to start a faction, and the goal was, what we were going to do is him and Robert Meyer Burnett broke up. Then he started pairing with Hector and Navarro and keeping the heroes thing going for a bit. And then Schnepp was there was going to be like this mystical force. Somebody was causing these things happening behind the scene, and it was going to be Schnepp. And Schnepp was going to do this big faction with all the villains.
That's
and
so
Schnepp
cool.
was going to run a heel faction, and that was we had it planned for a very long time. He every time I saw him, yo, when are we doing this thing, man? When are we doing it? I was like, soon, we gotta lead up to it. And, unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to do that. But we'll talk about all of it. And Saturday we'll be there. And I hope you guys can join us. Once again, go to Google and check out Eventbrite and just Eventbrite Schmoedown. Buy your tickets and come check it out.
All these people have been tweeting at me. Can I? Because remember I said I needed a +1 before.
Oh, right. They want to be your +1.
All these people want to be my +1. I feel like we should run an on-air competition.
A competition? You got to be careful with that, though. You're going to be giving out the +1 too.
Yeah. How about no?
So I only said that knowing you guys would veto
Right.
it. So I get to look like the good guy.
Yeah, that's true. I'll tell you, it was funny. I was walking. Good plan. I was walking in the hallway, and this Ryan Satin, who
he's the loudest man alive.
But he's the greatest. Yeah. And he pitches me. He'll pitch me some stuff. He said, "Look, this could be a good conversation if you guys want to talk about it." And so, Pro Wrestling Sheet, his website, and Collider's website, Pro Wrestling Sheet, posted this over the weekend. this independent federation or whatever it was. So this girl, and I cannot bring this up because it'll make everyone throw up.
But you're gonna?
I bring it up. I'm not going to make them bring up the clip.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Lordy, I know what you're talking about.
Did you see this thing?
I don't. What is it?
I saw the title and I went, I don't need to see that.
What is it?
So
Feces?
We're in the same neighborhood.
Okay.
It's in the neighborhood.
So
It's kind of that time of the
So
month.
this girl, they're outside fighting in front of a crowd, wrestling, and she's got the girl. She's got the one girl. She's on the floor, and then I can't remember what the line is that leads up to it. And so she reaches her hand into her tights and pulls out her tampon. And it is legit though. It's like legit. It's not like fake. It's like she legit does it, and I almost threw up all over myself.
Did she put it on the other girl?
I turned it off.
Or why is she holding it?
Maybe she was going to hit her with it. I have no idea. I turned it off. But I said to Satin and Vinny, who were out there too, when I was walking out, and I go, well, that girl's never going to work in wrestling ever again. They go, no, she's going to work more because of that. And I was like, but I thought that would be because they're going so much more family oriented that they're gonna, they wouldn't want to do this. And I thought about it. I was like, well, there are other people in the federation right now that have had some kind of stuff happen that is not necessarily family oriented. They're still working, but this was, I don't know.
In this
brutal.
situation, did she make that up herself, or do you
This
think
is
the
a
team
smaller
was
federation, so maybe she did. I don't think she's going to really get a talking to, and if she did, what she did, going off their point, was that this video went viral. People were talking about it, and people were talking about this federation
I
now.
kind of need us to pull it up. I kind of need to see it, and so does Brett.
Bring the stupid thing up.
I just think if you make her watch the firecrackers.
I know, I might as well. But just go to ProWrestlingSheet.com and find it.
This is payback.
But because I was wearing, because my brother got me the shirt. Oh yeah, Macho Man Randy Savage. I love this. I love this shirt that he got me. And I was just talking about, and that's how I kind of started the conversation. Then they were talking about this.
The red shirt.
Where is it? Let's find it.
And what is it titled?
There you go. Priscilla Kelly defends the viral tampon video. Can't take life so serious. It's disgusting. Keep going all the way down. There it is. That's the video.
Okay.
I turn it up. It's filthy. Oh,
You want to taste the tuna?
Look, she's like digging in there, man. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
Oh, she's going all
Absolutely.
the way in.
That's filthy. It's just a filthy thing to do. It's a filthy thing. It's a filthy thing. Is she gonna hit her? I don't even know. I didn't get this. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I don't. Come on.
Oh my God. Oh, she
Didn't
put
see
it in
that.
her mouth. You
Didn't see that last time.
You didn't tell me that.
Didn't see it, and I can't believe the girl agreed to it. Oh, it's filthy. You sick fuck, they're screaming. Oh, that's really something.
Good for her.
You buried the lead.
I didn't know that. I didn't know.
She
I
put
didn't know
her
that.
bloody tampon in the other girl's mouth.
What did I tell you?
Everybody
You buried the lead?
Yeah. What did I tell you? I told you I bailed on it when I saw her dig. Riley started to throw up on himself.
She puts.
Yeah. You want to? Do you want to feel a little bit better about yourself? Riley, show the claws.
Yeah.
They're gone.
Oh man,
job.
They're good.
My
Good
God.
job.
Yeah.
No, are you kidding me? It was my worst nightmare was when I have these things, and my second fucking worst nightmare is you bringing it up on air. It's like, just, okay.
How bad were they? I heard it yesterday.
I would, you know what?
Oh,
It's like
don't
I finally
lie.
noticed them on Saturday. I went, oh, I got to do this, and
They're
then I
bad.
go back, and I sit down to do it. And I was telling it yesterday. I'm like, babe, where are the nail clippers? She's like, oh, I left them at your mom's over Christmas. I went, shit.
I would say they're about a half inch longer.
They look better.
You've got some
Well, I
pretty
told-
big nails
I
to
should-
begin
Yeah, they
with.
grow.
Well,
They grow like
my
weeds.
wife. My wife likes to listen to segments of the show, right? And I know which ones she's gonna like and which she's not. And I said so last night. I got home. Her mood was all right because the baby had just been a lot of energy.
Okay.
So I was like, let me show you something I think is gonna make you laugh. And I brought it up. She every time you said, I can't look at you, I can't, she was crying laughing. It was a great bit. It was a great bit. It worked really well. And because Ellis and I worked very well yesterday off each other. I was listening to it. It was just like, we can't, I don't know. He called you Weapon X. Somebody climbing up trees.
My favorite is
guitar player.
As he's leaving, he's like, I'll show you worst next week. And I'm like, are you
I'm
gonna
sure
not
he's
cut
gonna
him?
do
And
it.
he's like, I
Well, I
don't
looked
care.
at him today. They're bad. Well, last night he asked me if he could borrow something, and I was like, "Yeah, we got to cut those claws." And he's like, "I did it already." I did it.
I walked in the door. No, first I stopped at Rite Aid
Yeah.
and got this, and then
That is so funny.
No,
I literally
I hate
couldn't-
the way it feels.
I couldn't look
I
at
did
you
too.
after because I didn't want to make you. I knew you were feeling bad about it, and I didn't want to make you feel
wasn't
worse.
feeling
But
bad.
I couldn't.
A
look
little
I don't know
bit.
if you saw me. I was like,
Well,
hi.
this is to show you because Reilly is usually on board with most stuff, right? So yesterday I didn't want to push it. So yesterday he comes in my office and we like to clip out the segments that we're going to put on Collider Podcast
Clip.
afterwards.
And you were gonna put that out.
So he's like, which ones do you want to do? And I was like, well, I want to do this one, this one, this one. And I go, and then I say, why are your fingernails so long? And he goes, I told you I'm going to cut them. I go, no, I want to clip that. He goes, no. Nope. I'm not doing it. Even though it was a great bit, I was like, all right, I'll let it go. You gotta watch
It's
it.
fine here. I'm not.
I
doing
feel the
that.
same way
clipping
about
it out.
so much
No.
of the stuff I say on the show. I'm like, it's fine if somebody wants to dig through
But
a
you don't wanna
2-hour
clip it
video,
out.
but I don't want to clip this
Yeah,
out.
we've done that a couple times. There was like, hey, can we clip that? And you're like, I'd rather not. Let him find it on the
Yeah.
show. And that's fine.
And then
Well, if you're a
sadly,
fan of the show, you get to know more about our lives.
Yeah, that's fair.
watch that one would have gone like
Viral.
300,000
Yeah.
views.
Like that Ron Perlman one.
That's
See
the
that?
one that would have made us.
No, what happened?
So that Ron, if you go to Collider Podcast, if you guys want to check out the clips, you go to the Collider Podcast YouTube channel, and that's where you can find all these clips. We clip out about 3 or 4 a day. The Ron Perlman talks about the new Hellboy. 1.8 million views.
Right.
Wow.
1.8 million.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great. People found it. You know, the same thing with the Todd McFarlane videos. They're doing well over there too. So we clip out every day. So make sure you check that out. All right, let's talk about this Captain Marvel thing. I saw.
Let's do it.
The extended look or whatever it was.
It was like they called it a special look, which is like it's a trailer.
I think this is the best trailer that's been out so far.
Wait, are
Absolutely.
they saying that because there's going to be another trailer, or they're calling it a special
mean,
look
this-
instead of a third trailer?
It's
Because it's short. Because it's only
about a minute.
1:30. Whatever.
Yeah.
so
minute 30.
That's their version of a teaser. Is a special look.
I mean, but it showed you a lot more.
Oh,
It had,
totally.
Here are my
And it
thoughts.
I'm just confused on
It
titles
was a
now.
Blazer teaser.
Yeah, well, first one
Just a tip.
first trailer thought was interesting. I wanted to know more. Second trailer did not like. Thought it started to paint the movie as really cheesy, and I was starting to be like, I'm good. This one I thought combined the best of both. Told us a lot more about the story. Showed a lot more personality on Captain Marvel for sure. The more the interaction between the two of them and what we are probably going to see. There's still some cheesy stuff. I think you're going to get a cheesy movie in general off this thing, but I think that there's a lot inside of this movie that could be very promising, and I loved this trailer because I was pretty let down by the last one.
I like this one too. I think that I would have liked it more had I not seen 1 and 2, because this one felt like an explanation for previous things for people who are not massive Marvel fans, which they should do.
Right.
This was smart, like hitting us over the head that she's not actually punching an old woman in the face, and here's what's actually happening, and here's how you know somebody's not a Skrull because what her powers are, etc., and actually explaining how things work. I loved that they did that. I didn't need to see the first 2.
Yeah.
If I had just seen this,
We
I
were
would have been
fine.
thrilled.
Yeah, I think that's. It's. I guess the problem. The difference is. So I think there was a rumor, or I don't know. Maybe it's not a rumor. This is what the Russo brothers said, that the Avengers Endgame, what they're going to release, or it's like a total of what, like
15 minutes.
15 minutes of the entire movie through all
Like towards the beginning 15 minutes.
So basically,
what?
basically every trailer that you see in the Avengers Endgame, it's going to culminate to 15 minutes of the movie, nothing more. So you're not. So they're not. Is that accurate?
That's accurate. Yeah, and towards like the beginning of the movie,
Right.
To save all that. This is now accurate. This is the Russos talking on the
Right
red
now.
carpet at
Okay.
Golden Globe, saying, "We trust Marvel. We trust Disney for the marketing, but this is what we want to do," and I think they will probably hold to that.
Right.
I'm
Can
hoping.
they?
I think
Do
they-
they get to?
I don't know what that decision would be.
I will tell you that they will because the thing is that movie doesn't. It's good, what you just said before about Captain Marvel, what you needed. The reason why they had this particular trailer is because Captain Marvel is not a well-known property yet, so they're going to show more and more stuff. I agree with you. I think they should have led with this one. I think it gives more of the story and what the movie's going to be about. But they're going to show more stuff because they want to try to get you in more and more and they get reactions from the audience, how they're feeling. The Avengers is coming off, the Endgame is coming off one of the most successful movies of all time. And one of the craziest endings in a superhero movie of all time. So people want to know how it's going to wrap up. They don't need to show more to get you in the theater.
No.
They can show you whatever they want to show you in the beginning that's not going to ruin and hurt. And the Russos are very good about that. They want to make sure that they don't ruin moments. I mean, they went as far in Civil War to digitally take out Spider-Man so you didn't know he was in it. I believe this 100%.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brett, you see this trailer? What did you think?
Yeah, I saw. This was another one that I wanted to see anyway because I love the ones that I don't know anything about. And
You wanted to see this trailer or the movie?
No, the movie. I definitely wanted to see it. And the trailer, I didn't want to watch it, but I watched it so I could discuss it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so it did teach me a little bit more about who Captain Marvel is, but not so much that it kind of will ruin it for me. I don't think.
Yeah, and a little bit about the controversy, and then we hear the line like "You're not as powerful as you think" or whatever. Then her dilemma. I think we know just enough now.
Agreed.
They didn't ruin anything, but.
And I saw the Brie
Ready.
Larson in this movie that I've fallen in love with her other movies, the Short Term 12 and Room. I
Love that movie.
Room is
21 Jump Street. I saw her in this trailer. I didn't see her in the other ones. I saw her more.
I also agree with that.
Yeah.
This was her strongest for sure.
Yeah, you got
embodying the character.
You kind of got that playfulness that we didn't really get in the other trailers, like with her sitting down with Fury and then using her,
And a little jokes.
Yeah.
Couple
jokes.
Good jokes, though, I thought. And
Yeah.
some of them were cheesy, but overall good. And I think that I learned more just what the relationship's going to be with her and Jude Law. And it's a little reminiscent to the Star-Lord thing, I think, a little bit. I don't know my past. I don't really know what's happening. I got to discover it. Was I an Earthling? Was I not? There's repetitive beats that we're hitting here.
That's also every sci-fi superhero fantasy.
I want to try to get away from it. I want to see what happens.
Well,
But,
both those, come from source material. They both had that similar kind of thing going on, so we're seeing that. But I'm sure it's going to be. I don't know. This looks very good.
Mm-hmm.
The Ronin in the background, seeing the connections to the Guardians of the Galaxy is probably why you're getting that as well. You know, this is interesting to me to start to learn about the cosmic, because I think they're going to go in that direction after this.
I just want to see how they tie it all together, because, like I said, I'm more this one got me more back on the train of okay, let's get in the theater, because I was this last trailer I was kind of like let's just get to Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, yeah, they got me with that one. We'll see what the next trailer holds.
Are there any superheroes that have 2 alive parents and a happy life?
Not very good ones.
Any superheroes that grew up super happy,
Right.
have family?
Oh, Batman.
Yeah.
Aquaman.
Oh, no.
Aquaman. Aquaman does.
Oh.
Aquaman?
No, I mean, his mom was
She's alive.
But I would
She's
say
alive.
grew up with 2 parents and a happy life.
That's true. That's
But
true.
can you be a superhero
I know,
and
it
have
seems like a lot
all
of-
members of your
trying to
family
think of it.
intact?
Probably they're screaming at us.
And alive.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, it's a good question.
You count
Or
Miles
a Disney
Morales?
princess?
Miles Morales?
Maybe. From
Yeah,
Spider-Man?
yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Miles
mean,
Morales is good.
uncle situation, but
Yeah, but his
Yeah,
but
but
his
his
parents
parents,
are
they're there.
legit. Yeah,
agree with that. Good call.
No.
not Suppies. Superman did, but they were adopted.
Yeah.
parents.
Well, depending on where you are in the comics, he still has Mom and Pa Kent. But
That's what I mean,
in the
adopted
movies,
parents.
you adopted
Yeah.
parents.
Yeah.
I wonder if in every single writer's room that they have.
Right.
But what if
Yeah, that's
we
true.
killed one or
the
both
parents, right.
of the parents?
Now
sure
I want to
they're
write the
screaming at us
superhero
and letting us
movie
know.
that
Happy
he
life.
comes from a well-adjusted
Great
family.
family.
Does
and
Kick-Ass
still-
count?
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. Good one.
Does
there.
he have a mother? I thought it was just a dad.
I don't
Or the
remember.
other way around. I don't
remember.
Yeah.
We got to write it.
Kingsman? No, it's Kingsman doesn't.
We got
count.
it right
Died.
where you grew up happy and your parents were like, you should be a superhero one day.
But what if they're
I got
a
it.
villain?
I got it. Blade. No, I'm sorry.
But they're a villain. They have wonderful
villain.
parents. They did everything right, but
Yep.
they ended up being a villain.
All
That's
right,
the movie.
Listen, we are going to go to break here. I am actually going to be off the show. I will be back tomorrow. Producer Todd Garner is coming in, and Roxy Striar, Josh Macuga, and the rest of the crew will be here to interview the great producer Todd Garner when we get back. But I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks a lot. See you after the break.
Hello Hello, Collider fans. I'm Kristian Harloff, and you see my stupid name in the background because that's my other show. It's One-on-One with me, Kristian Harloff. What the hell is it? I just sit down and talk to people. I literally just sit down and talk to people about what the hell's going on in their lives and their careers, and it's a long-form interview show. Originally, it aired on Collider Video as far as the YouTube channel goes, but we moved it on over, and it's on the Collider Video podcast, on YouTube. Go on over there if you want to see the video and to see the pretty faces that I'm talking to. Had some great guests over the past. And we're going to have a lot more. And there's going to be people that maybe some celebrities or actors and actresses, producers, writers, all that stuff. But there's also a lot of the people that you know around here. I could have Cobbster on there. I could have Jeff Snyder, John Roca, Mark Reilly, Roxy Striar, whoever. And I'm going to find out more about them. Long form, and also go to Apple Podcasts and check out the One-on-One feed with Kristian Harloff. And not only is my show on there, Mark Reilly, the Reilly Roundtable, which is another sit-down, long-form interview show, that's also there. And when Steve Frosty Weintraub talks to Kevin Smith or George Takei, that's going to be on that podcast feed also. So if you're taking a long drive and you like those long-form interviews, pop on the One-on-One with Kristian Harloff, give it a rate, comment, do all that because it helps the show and it makes Podcast One go, hey, you know what? Those people should get ad money.
Oh, hi guys. It's Perry here, and I am going to tell you about The Witching Hour. It is the show that I host along with Collider.com's Haley Fouch. It is in podcast form on the Collider Factory feed, and we also have the video up and running every Tuesday for you right there on the Collider Podcast YouTube channel. We talk about everything horror. We're talking TV, movies, the newest releases. We talk about movies that are celebrating anniversaries. We've even talked about books. It's crazy. If it is scary, we are talking about it on The Witching Hour. We also have so many filmmaker interviews, really cool stuff. It's all coming your way every single Tuesday on The Witching Hour. Check it out. Collider Factory and the Collider Podcast YouTube channel. Ugh.
Hello, Collider Live. My name is Amy Dallin.
And I'm Coy Jandro, and we host a little show we love called Collider Heroes. And it is all of the things we love about movies, TV, comics themselves, all the breaking news, trailers, photos, but not paparazzi photos.
All of the superhero stuff we love, all of the indie comic stuff we love, all the stuff you had no idea was based on comics.
80 years of comic lore have led to this show, and many years in film and TV, and we're living in a golden age of comics, and we want to share all of that zeal with you folks.
So we talk about the stuff that's coming out. We talk about what we hope is coming out. We do fantasy casting of things that should exist. Why don't they exist?
And we do your Twitter questions asking directly to us what we think of certain things. And every single week, since we both actually love and read physical comics, buy and print, we have a comic pull list where our 5 biggest favorite books of the week come out, and we dive into those with you guys.
You can buy digital. I'll forgive you. As long as you're paying for your comics. It's all good.
But if you buy in print, you can bag them and board them, and then they're worth more later, because comics are like certain things from the 90s that are totally worth the value. Buy comics, buy in print. Digital's never worth anything later. Buy in print. Keep comic stores alive.
Or we can debate collector's items all day long. We can debate casting. We can debate movie news. We can have all of our friends come join us, as we frequently do. We can ask professionals about their work. We've had some amazing guests come by the show.
Yep. We try to
can catch it every Wednesday.
That are on these properties that also love comics. You hear what it's like from their perspective, from inside, from outside, and this is all with the focus of bringing all this news to you guys. And we're here every Wednesday on Collider, and we love this stuff and want to share it with you guys.
We'll see you then.
Hey guys, Reilly here, and let me tell you about the Reilly Roundtable. That's right, they gave Reilly his own podcast. The Reilly Roundtable is on its new home, and that is One-on-One with Kristian Harloff on the iTunes feed for Podcast One. It drops every Thursday. The Reilly Roundtable is a little bit about everything. It's about movies and life and movies and everything in between. I like to have on special guests for discussions like Justice League versus Batman v Superman, for discussions about wine tasting, for discussions about UFOs, and everything in between. That's right. The Reilly Roundtable drops on Thursdays on the One-on-One with Kristian Harloff podcast feed and later on Collider Video's own podcast video network. So check it out every Thursday, the Reilly Roundtable. See you there.
Hey everyone, this is John Roca. You know me as one of the co-hosts for Collider Sports Time every Monday on Collider Sports YouTube and podcast channel. But we got another show on here. That's Collider Sportsbook. Josh Macuga, the Wild Man, he hosts that one. I join him on those, and they're a lot of fun. We break down the lines and the predictions with the over and unders. A lot of stuff going on for all the NFL games and some select college football games as well. We do that every week. We also do special ones on Thursday nights for those Thursday night football games. Let you know where to put your money, what bets to put down, who to go with, who not to go with. We give you a lot of information, and we give you our thoughts. You know, Josh Macuga, he does it by the gut. I do it more from the statistics point of view, and every once in a while, Mark Fernandez even joins us to throw in his 2 cents on the Thursday night sportsbook. So there's a lot of sports action here on Sports Time, on the Collider Sports YouTube and podcast channel. Join us there, subscribe there, definitely on the podcast channel. We need your downloads, subscriptions, and views there. So give us some love on Collider Sports, and we'll talk to you soon.
Welcome back to Collider Live. Roxy Striar here. Kristian Harloff had to step out with Josh Macuga. You're
I'm
saluting
doing like
all
a
the
salute
people.
thing. I don't know. I've tried to salute for so long, but I wasn't even in the armed forces. So I don't even know why I'm doing it. I probably do it wrong.
I have a really weird salute story.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, let's get right into it. Todd Garner, producer in the house, has an amazing salute story. Also, Mark Reilly over in the corner.
Hi, it's so random. When we were doing Pearl Harbor, Michael Bay said, "You got to go. You got to get in, get a cameo." I go, okay. I don't want to do it. He's like, "Oh, it'd be fun. It'd be awesome." No.
Why did he want you to have a cameo so bad?
To torture me.
Okay.
And so I gotta get my hair cut, and I gotta put on this like white admiral's uniform. And it's where
you dress whites.
Oh yeah. There's like 300 people on this ship all standing there. And I can't remember who it was. Somebody comes and salutes me, and I'm supposed to salute back. I couldn't do it. And
why couldn't you do it?
It's a very specific way.
It's like
it's very
like
specific.
inches and things.
Oh, so you tried, but it just didn't look right?
And the guy who was the military advisor did not know. I was the head of the studio at the time. He didn't know who I was. He's like, "Man, if you fuck this up one more time, we're throwing you off the ship." And I'm like, "Throw me off, man. I'd be so happy." And he literally, every time he goes, "No." And it's just... And it's, 500 extras and like Ben Affleck going, "What is going on?" I'm just like, I could not get it right.
I was an extra on an episode of CSI, like one of those NCIS or like CSI. When I lived in New York, and we were on that battleship that's like on Chelsea Pier out there. And I mean, it was like 5 a.m. I walk up and there's like 40 military guys and me, and I have like long, shaggy hair. And they're like, "Just so you know, this guy is not military." Like they pointed out to everybody. I'm sitting next to Gary Sinise, and I'm like, "I'm not military. I got nothing on that one." So,
Does that happen to you all of the time where you're like the big man on campus, but people actually don't recognize you, so they talk to you that way?
Nobody recognizes me ever on a set. Because first of all, I live with the crew. I try to just not. I don't have a trailer. Yeah. I sit there, and all the time. Another funny one was my wife hosted a show called the World Poker Tour for 3 years, and I would hang out with her. And one person thought I was a PA. And I'm sitting there watching her work, and he goes, "Hey man, can you get me a sandwich?" I go, "Yeah. What do you want?" And her assistant, who ultimately became my assistant, caught me halfway to the thing. I'm going, "I'm going to give him a sandwich. This is awesome." I'm fine.
I've just been sitting here watching poker for 7 hours.
I'm in. Oh, sorry. I don't know if I can curse.
You can say whatever you want. Do you ever pull the "Do you know who I am"?
No, God, no.
You never want. It's never come out of your mouth.
No, not once, ever. Not even like.
But here, wait.
No.
Let's where are you from? You're not from California.
I'm from San Fernando.
Oh, you're
right
from
here.
the Valley.
No, not just the Valley.
Oh, you're from
Valley.
right here on
literally
San
San Fernando. I was
No
born
way.
in San Fernando. I'm 4th generation. Lived in the city of San Fernando. Went to public high school in San Fernando.
Wait, you were getting ready to say you're not from here,
I was
so you don't say things like that.
Rarely
but
do
you
you
are.
find a genuinely good Southern Californian
I
nowadays.
agree.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, there's very few of us anyway. We usually like move or do something else. But no,
Sure.
especially in this business.
Yeah.
No, I would never say that because eventually it's all going to come crashing to a screeching halt, and then it won't matter.
I
anyway.
love when people say, "Do you know who I am?" and I don't.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's the
Anybody
best.
who says it usually you do.
Right? I find generally, especially in LA, like in the club scene when I used to go out, you would hear that some kid punk go, "You know who I am?" And I generally would think, "I'm probably employing your dad."
Yeah.
Not into the club scene anymore.
No.
You kicked it.
I wouldn't even know. Is there a club? There's got to be, right?
The thing, though, too,
I don't know either.
The club scene is always one club, and then it bounces every 6 months in LA, and it's always one word. You know,
Right.
I mean, and it
I'll
just
tell you,
bounces.
this is like the worst interview because it's just non sequitur after non sequitur. My good friends who were bouncers in the club scene when I was in it, which is like Roxbury and the Gate and all that, just won the Golden Globe for Best Screenplay.
Whoa!
For
There
Green
you
Book.
go.
Yeah, Brian Curry and
That's
Nick
awesome.
were bouncers in LA, and they just won the Golden Globe.
And Green Book is
Such an LA
It's my favorite movie.
It was
here.
based on his dad, Nick's dad, and they
Oh,
were
yeah.
both those guys. He and Brian Hayes Curry were both bouncers in L.A.
Yeah.
Who, after I watched Green Book, and we talked about it, after I watched Green Book, realized that Lip was Carmine in The Sopranos.
Yeah.
The
I didn't know
guy,
until you pointed that out to me as well.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It was Carmine Lupatazzi in Sopranos. I'm like, well, and my wife wanted to do, every time we watch a movie, like midway through, if it's one that is going to get spoiled, my wife goes and finds the spoilers and then watches. And she's like, you'll never believe what happens next. I'm like, why are you doing this? Right? And then we're watching that, and she looks up The Real People's Life, and I was like, the real guy is Carmine Lupatazzi?
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't know who that is. I was like, he's The Sopranos. He's the New York boss. It's crazy.
How did you feel about the Globes this year? Did you watch them?
Yeah, I mean, it was.
Did you get invited to that kind of thing, or is that not your bag?
Both.
Okay.
You know, first of all, they're a joke. I mean, it's like 130 foreigners saying, "Let's have a good party." Yeah,
right.
And so you always see like, you know, obviously, everybody's going to get nominated so they can come to the party and get drunk. And then it's just a weird thing. They sort of dole them out, like, oh, you'll get this one, and we'll give Bradley that one.
Right.
And I think because they gave Bradley and Lady Gaga the song, like they felt like they were covered.
Nothing else.
Yeah. And here's the only reason why I think they are a precursor to the Oscars is because they come before it, and people are lazy when they vote, and they go, "What was the Golden Globe? Oh, yeah, that's a good one."
Sure.
And so the voting body of the Academy, I think, is swayed just because it's more recent, and they're like, you know, not everybody sees every movie. And so I think that's why it's relevant. Otherwise, it's just
It's sort of like in TV,
contest.
because as soon as the Emmys come up, we've forgotten about the Golden Globes. It's 9 months later.
Yeah, we don't even remember. Do you care as a producer about the Oscars, about awards at all? Is that
Have
something
you seen
that
my
you...
resume? I mean, yeah. It would literally be the worst life ever if I gave a shit about that. Every year I'm like, no, tag, God damn it.
I love Tag.
By the by,
I
Tag,
really did.
are you kidding me?
underrated.
Tag's great. Tag is fantastic.
We got a booth of people who loved it too. We talked about it here all the time.
If I really gave a shit about the Academy Awards, I'd be.
So you do have a lot of divisive movies that, you know, people fall one way or the other on. Do you care that critically sometimes they don't do as well, as long as they're doing okay financially?
No, I don't care. I mean, like, there's not a review. I don't have any reviews in my house.
Right.
But I have a house. So it's like, I don't care.
It's the best review ever.
The problem is this. Yeah, exactly. The problem is if once you ever buy into it, you're screwed. Like once you go, oh, I got a review. I guess this movie's good. Then you're dead.
It's kind of like the day I stopped reading YouTube comments.
Yeah,
I know
can't-
you
exactly.
do.
It's
I know you still do.
I do. I
But
really
I
do.
can't.
And I don't have a house.
You
so.
can't do it because here's my problem is comedy is so specific to different people. That's why there's so many different comics, right? So nobody goes, oh, I'm a Louis C.K. fan and a Jeff Dunham fan. Right. You're probably one or the other. Or, you know, so and that's why there's so
I
many.
love Larry the Cable Guy and Tracy Ullman.
Yes,
Those are my two favorite comics.
So you're like, what? So I since I mostly do populist comedies, it just has to be for me. And like I think one of my best reviewed movies probably was Punch Drunk Love. I mean, not that I was the studio for that, and it's great, and I love it, and I'm super proud of it. But it's not like it didn't make nearly as much as Paul Blart Mall Cop. And you know, it's a business.
I legit thought you were going to say 13 Going on 30 because listen, I love your resume here, but 13 Going on 30 is one of my all-time favorites.
That's
I know
so
that like
funny.
Yeah,
It's
I love
such
it
a
too.
weird. It's a weird one too because it's the same woman that brought me 13 Going on 30 also brought me What Women Want. Oh my God, I can't get it out of my head now. They're remaking it. What Women Want.
Yeah.
And she also brought me Isn't It Romantic, which comes out in February. So I've had Gina Matthews. I've had great luck with her. But 13 Going on 30 is one of those ones where, in terms of getting recognized, it's one of those ones. That's the one where people will come up to me. So when my daughter was born, we were at UCLA, and through a series of circumstances, it was very emotional for me. And she's having a C-section. I'm scared to death, and I'm literally crying. And my mom's in there, and my wife's in there, and I'm just praying, literally praying everything's going to work out okay. And this nurse just leans in and goes, I have to say, 13 Going on 30 is my favorite movie. Right in the middle. I'm like, oh, thank you. I'm so glad you liked it.
So what happened? Did she IMDb you or something?
No, I think probably. I think maybe she had.
What if you would have turned around and just gone, dirty, flirty, and thriving?
I think probably what happened was I never really got to the bottom of it. Probably should have. She, I think, maybe knew and then probably asked my wife about it, and they talked about it before, so she felt like it would be a fun thing to do right in the middle of one of the best moments.
Try
of
to
my life.
lighten up the
Not a good time.
No, is that ever appropriate?
I don't know.
Did you see that Twitter thread last year? And I'm trying to remember. It was like a director or a writer loses his mother. They're at the funeral and at the house hanging out, and a guy goes, and he's behind him, and he goes, "Hey, I have a script. I was wondering if you could read it." And then everybody starts sharing their stories about like these awkward moments where people are hitting him up. But
It would have been great if the nurse said, "I have a script for 14 going on 40. Would you like to read it?"
We're doing we're gonna do 13 going on 30 on Broadway.
So amazing.
But
Josh and I are going.
I don't get. It's not. I'm a producer. It's like I don't get a lot of. Really, now that I'm doing my podcast, I get a lot more. Hey, you're the podcast guy.
Yeah.
And so
The Producer's Guide, Todd Garner, and Hollywood's Elite on Podcast One.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got to plug
Nice
that.
plug.
You gotta.
I don't know how to
You got to
do
start
that.
saying it.
I'm so
You
bad.
could learn from Roxy. She's the queen of plugs.
Roxy, you got to help me because I really am terrible at it.
That's what she said.
Like they go, put it on your Twitter. I'm like, all right.
You want that soundbite?
9
for you?
people will friggin' know about it. But my podcast, honestly, part of it was so many people ask, what does a producer do? Especially now.
Yeah.
Besides, molest people. And two, I mean, that's the press.
Todd's turning into one of my favorite guests.
Well done.
I mean, I don't do that, but I mean, that's press.
I mean, I've heard of people
It's
doing
ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then,
Oh,
and
God.
then
Don't put that on your Twitter.
Yeah.
No, well, I mean, we talk about it. I mean, like, you can't get away from it. It's like literally like.
No, it's important to address
If
it
you
head on,
didn't
actually.
know what a producer was, like Harvey Weinstein, and hey, those guys, it's good, Brett Ratner, and so. And so that's a horrible thing for my industry. And then secondly, will you read, what does a producer do? And then how do I get in the business? So I figured I'll do a podcast. And everybody asks me, I'll go, I have a lot of hours just talking about that. You don't have to ask me anymore. You can just listen.
Yeah, that's a good way of selling the podcast. 100%.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not trying to sell it. It's like,
I mean, you could also host a podcast about like greatest westerns. You look like that grizzled western guy that's like, I shot 47 men.
I got a text.
48 is you.
I got a text from a good friend who was at the Golden Globes saying, "Hey, if Jeff Bridges' movie ever gets made, you got to play him."
Exactly.
What? First of all, there's a lot going on there.
I don't know if you're scared to salute. I don't know if you can play Jeff Bridges.
No, I can't. No, he's
That seems
only the goofy. Hey, man.
Yeah,
that guy.
you just ramble for 45 minutes with an award. Say man at the end, and you're in.
I'm doing it now, man.
So on your show, do you all the time just say, okay, here's the deal. Like, we deal with the money. We're dealing with this is how you do it. And you feel like people are actually taking the advice that you're giving? Or
Yeah, I mean, I think people are. I'm not giving advice necessarily so much as just talking about what we do and where the business is and where it's been and where it's headed. And so, and the reality of it, not the crap that most media puts out there, which is like, oh yeah, it was the biggest, box office ever domestically, but, and then there's 9 things that are going to doom and gloom. So
a man was killed on set.
Yeah, so they get clicks. And so for me, I'm just like, I'm not doing that. I'm just like talking to people that are really doing it. And I can't, I mean, I'm a lot of episodes in, and I can't think of one where somebody didn't go, man, I've never talked about this before. This is something I haven't talked about in a long time. Because like we do weird things. Like I made Jeff Probst talk for 20 minutes about catering.
Did he used to be a caterer?
No, but how do you
on
feed?
set catering?
Oh, crafty?
How do you feed all those people on an island? You're not feeding the survivors necessarily, but like there's 100, 200 people there for 90 days.
It's the stuff that a producer thinks about.
Yeah, and he was like, okay, and it was fascinating, and so we try to talk about like
I like that.
What producers really do.
Because my thought was always, the worst job in the world is being like Bear Grylls' cameraman.
Right.
Like how and why would you want that job?
Yeah.
Or the worst person on the set of Survivor is like the cameraman eating like a Crunch bar as some guy is like withering away to nothing on an island. Like, hey, can you turn over?
Well, they don't do that. They don't do. That's what you
should listen to the
this
podcast.
episode.
See, I just
If you
sold
listen
your
to this
podcast.
episode. You would know this. They don't allow any snacks on set. And Jeffrey Katzenberg's son, David Katzenberg, who's now a huge television director and producer, one of his first jobs was he was the nighttime cameraman on Survivor. And so he would just sit there with the camera with the night vision on and waiting for somebody to move or do anything. That was his job.
And you're not allowed to talk to them or
Oh,
communicate
no.
in any way.
No, and And really, I mean, you know, the Kardashians are living proof. You just forget about the cameras at some point. They do. Wow. They just, you know, they're so ubiquitous that you end up just being a real person around them.
Have you thought about producing anything in that world?
Well, yeah. I mean, unscripted.
You seem so happy about it.
Well, unscripted is hard. It's so specific, and there are people that just dedicate their lives to that. Right. So, like, I did a show with Rob Dyrdek for a year called Snack Off, which was like stoned people making bad snack food,
which is MTV,
right? And it didn't. But we had like Chrissy Teigen was a host, and Eddie Wong was a host, and it just didn't take off. But because it's such a specific skill set that I don't really have it. But if I had like a great idea, I would try and do it.
I was the host of a one-episode Travel Channel show called Epic Happy Hours, and we thought that people would want to know about happy hours.
Right.
We got one episode, and then they were just like, I don't think people want to know about happy hours. Like, are you sure?
I want to.
By the way, I would watch that show.
100%.
Thank you. There you go.
Come
on, Travel Channel.
When was that? Because my wife was on the Travel Channel too. It's such a weird. They made a big switch from
all like the real fun travel shows to now like mystery hunters.
Yeah,
right.
Because WPT isn't even World Poker Tour isn't even travel anymore. It's like, hey, we're at this table, and it's set in a set.
Yeah, it's just
all
in
poker.
Burbank.
It's not travel. Yeah,
right. It's what we shot. It was the weekend before my wedding, so September 23rd, 2017.
Yeah.
Man.
And then literally, they were like, I don't think we're gonna go forward. Let's talk about it. And then the new year hit, and like, yeah, we're definitely canceling. And then they released their slate of shows, and it was like ghost hunters, ghost travelers, mysterious ghost men. I'm like, it's the same show.
Yeah. Epic ghost happy hours.
Ghost happy hours.
There's so many channels now. You can literally dig that deeply into just one specific genre.
Yeah.
How do you figure out which projects you're going to take on at this point? Like you've been producing for so long, you said things that make you laugh, but how do you figure out what the thing is?
Because we've got a script called 15 Going on 50.
Pitch it, Josh. Pitch it.
Trust me, I'll take it.
16 on 60?
That's the retirement one.
It's a shared universe of films.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
10 going on 11? Yeah.
Yeah, that'll come after. We're going to do the prequel after 15 going
over
on
your
50.
shoulder, I'm looking at the Spider-Verse. I'm like, you can do anything at this point.
Yeah, legit.
Yeah.
Mark, you're writing it right now, right?
Oh, yeah. I got
good.
a draft ready to turn in.
Great.
Cool.
The universes. So yeah, it's look. I don't have any IP necessarily. I am remaking Mortal Kombat and New Line, and so
you said that wrong. Just so you know, because when you say it, you have to say, "I'm remaking Mortal Kombat." Every time you say it, even on the phone with professionals, it doesn't matter.
In my head, that's the way it sounds.
Okay, good.
But it just comes out this way because I'm trying not to be excited about it. But and so
Your smile gives it away.
Yeah. So for me, it's like
get over here.
There's a lot of people that I love. I mean, I've done a lot of movies back in the day with Nick Cage. I've done a ton of movies with Sandler and Kevin James and Ice Cube and Marlon Wayans. There's like people that I gravitate towards. And then I do look. I have a real soft spot because I grew up at Disney. I was at Disney for 10 years. I have a soft spot for these family comedies. So I'm making one right now with John Cena that we're going to start shooting.
He's the man.
He's awesome.
Yeah,
we're going to start shooting that in February. And I loved Rebel Wilson. I was just keyed into her right away. I thought she was amazing. So Isn't It Romantic was something that chased her down.
That trailer is fantastic. I can't wait to see that. It's such a funny idea of like putting yourself.
By the way,
in
you're revealing a lot about yourself right now.
Yeah,
dude,
totally.
Isn't it romantic?
Okay.
Like you have like a huge.
They already
side.
know.
He loves to know.
Your wife must just love you. You could go to any movie with her.
I'm the soft side guy.
That's awesome,
right? My brother and I talk about it all the time. My brother has nothing to do with movies, TV. I mean, he works in video games, but nothing to do with anything like that. And we always talk about like the modern day, the renaissance of the modern day rom-com. We think is started with Blockers.
Yeah,
because we haven't had like that teen coming
Great
of age
movie.
kind of a thing. Game night, like we're getting some rom-coms again because I think like the end of the McConaughey and then the McConaissance like short-lived the rom-com. Right?
McConaissance is my favorite thing I've ever heard.
Kind of even with Tag, too.
With Tag, right?
Thank you.
Like Tag was super fun. These comedies. Listen, I love the movie. Crap, what's that one where they made us the Jake Johnson Wayans brother?
Let's Be Cops.
Let's Be Cops.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, just an incredible movie. And my wife and I have We Ride Together, We Die Together on our wedding rings because Bad Boys 2 is our favorite movie. So,
Bad Boys 2, yeah, that's a great one.
And by
I saw
Michael
she
Bay
posted
for
about
me.
it on Instagram the other day. I was like,
Name a more iconic duo than Martin Lawrence and Will Smith.
There
And then
is
my
one.
Instagram just exploded, right? But the rom-com is my favorite genre of film. So like 13 Going on 30, and the reason why I love that movie is because my family was stuck on a cruise ship with terrible weather, and the only movie they played for 4 straight days was 13 Going on 30. I memorized that movie in German by
That's
the end
like
of
the bad Inception, like or the bad, like really just the day keeps rewinding.
Right.
I'll tell you a funny story about Bad Boys. Bad Boys started off, the original cast of that was Dana Carvey and John Lovitz.
I heard this.
What?
Yes.
You're kidding
Yeah.
me.
The original, and then like script went through different things and different things, then it became.
So how do you know that?
Because it was at Hollywood Pictures, and then they put it in turnaround, and Jerry took it to Sony, and then I can't remember, I don't know which of either Bay or Jerry said, hey, there's this guy, Will Smith, that seems to be doing well.
Right.
And then
The rest is history. Yeah, boom.
I would have loved to see that movie.
John Lovitz and
How
Dana
much would you love
Carvey.
with Bay's style of shooting? It would have been insane.
Where would it have ranked for you then, though? I don't know.
I don't know. It's. I mean, I love that franchise, obviously, and it's. But again, buddy cop movies that are outside the realm, right? So like a rom-com, because romance is always so dramatic and this and that. But when you add the comedy aspect to it, all of a sudden, like when guys say they love rom-coms, all of a sudden, really, dude. You like Failure to Launch? Yeah. Naked Terry Bradshaw? It's hysterical.
Right. There's always something for guys in there, right?
Obviously. Like the parental rom-coms, all that kind of stuff is like, all of a sudden your shortchanged is like, oh, come on, man. Those movies aren't that good. They're great.
Well, the problem, I think, wasn't that guys...
Isn't it supposed to be an escape?
The problem there wasn't guys that would go see him. I think girls started just getting turned off by him. It's like, really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
I just think because it's the same trope of just like, she's got glasses, so no one will date her. And then once the glasses come off, she's dateable. And I think girls are just like, enough of this nonsense. Really, that's what I have to do to be happy is just get a guy. And so, in fact, the title started saying, like, get a guy, how to get a guy. And so I think it just ran its course like anything else. But by the way, horror did the same thing. If you think about, like, before Blum, reinvigorated.
He's our horror guy.
Right? Paranormal, right? So before that, right before Paranormal, where the genre got turned on its head, that genre was burned out because all the movies were like $35-40 million effects extravaganzas, not really that scary. They were throwing just blood and gore at the screen, and people were like, I'm done. Right. And then Saw, I think, turned up the notch a little bit, and then Blumhouse came along and just said, hey, how about this?
Right. Yeah.
And now so it's back. I think rom-coms for sure are ready for that. Hopefully,
for sure.
Hopefully, isn't a romantic.
Because a movie that I didn't think I was gonna like, and we talked about it, is I Feel Pretty.
Right.
I didn't think I was going to love that movie because I'm not like the biggest Amy Schumer fan in the world. I really enjoyed that movie.
It's a confusing one. Yeah, I agree. I liked it too. I mean, I love her, but I think they had a tough time selling it because it's a confusing. It's like she didn't see anything different, so you were really just watching a performance.
Yes,
right.
So, I don't know. It was
because like a Shallow Hal.
Yeah,
well, you saw it.
Do you feel like it's part of your job to see
Same
everything?
director from Green Book, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, very fair.
Oh, yeah. Do you feel like it's part of your job to go see all of these? Like, do you watch every single movie? Because we haven't thrown one out yet that you've been like, didn't see that.
Yeah, I do. Well, I watch every single movie anyway. It's just because I love movies, but it also just so easy now with Netflix and screeners and just streaming and playing. It used to be like, if you missed it in the theater, you'd maybe catch it on a plane, and then you were waiting 90 months for the DVD. Now it's like...
And we talk about it all the time, plane movies. Oh, the best.
Yeah,
well,
I watch like 7 on every flight.
I've had 2 incredibly funny plane stories. One was when Mall Cop came out. Right after that, a Sandy Bullock movie came out. And this is still when like planes are like, we're going to be showing you this movie, and you're all watching it. Screw you. And so it was like... whatever it was, Sandy Bullock movie, like Failure to Launch or whatever it was.
The Proposal?
We'll take what you will give us.
While you were sleeping.
No, that was great. It was right when Mall Cop came out.
Speed 2 Cruise
It was
Control.
like funny, but not like crazy funny. And I go, I've seen it. I'm going to bed, going to sleep. And I'm laying there, and this guy is sat next to me, laughing his ass off, like. It's the funniest thing ever. And I'm like, really, dude? This Sandy Bullock movie is not that fucking funny. Are you fucking kidding me? And I take off my eye mask, and it's Mall Cop. And I'm like, what? I will enjoy this with the people. And then I was like, this is awesome. You were laughing. And then the next one, about three weeks ago, I was going somewhere with my wife, maybe Cabo or it's Mexico or something. And Tag was, it's in this thing, so you can see people go. It's like in real time, your heart gets broken. Like, oh, they're scrolling. Oh, here comes Tag. Oh, there it goes. These 2 girls did it, got it, and they both did it. And I'm like, oh, they're both watching. This is cool. Not like I'm gonna get any money from this, but like they're both watching it. And then one of the girls' headphones broke, and so they put one headphone in each ear, and we're laughing their asses off. And I just literally like a psycho just sat there for 90 minutes just watching them.
And then they got off the plane. They're like, "Hey, the guy from Legends of the Fall was watching us the entire flight."
Why is Daniel Day-Lewis watching us watch the thing and really intently? So creepy.
Do you
But it
feel
was
tempted to say something ever?
No.
Like,
What am I gonna say?
I worked on that.
No. The joy is just watching people enjoy it.
Do you ever watch people not enjoy your stuff?
Oh,
Has
yeah.
that
Oh yeah.
Please.
Do you have like a
such a
premiere story where you were at the premiere and you thought this movie was fantastic and you walked out? No.
No.
Okay.
There's never a movie where I'm like, this is great by the time it hits the premiere. By the time it hits the premiere, you know.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Tomcats was a movie that we did. You know, it was like a
Yeah,
total mercenary
Tomcats,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome. And so
Thank you so much.
We did that. Look, I love Jerry O'Connell. He's a good buddy of mine,
Sure.
and he was coming off of a bunch of.
He just did a show on a network. I work with WG in America, and he just did a comedy on WG in
He's
America.
the best guy.
Yeah.
And Shannon Elizabeth was coming off American Pie, and we were going to make the movie for like $8 million or whatever. And it was like first time director, and it was an R-rated comedy. And what could go wrong?
Great question.
So
Nothing.
it's just not great. And so it's not great. And so like, well, we're gonna have a premiere. So I go, what we should do is invite people to get drunk before the movie.
Yes.
Let's do the party before the movie. We called it a drunket instead of a
Yeah.
junket.
Yes.
Here's the problem.
People slept through the.
No, when drunk people don't react the way you want them to, so they're like, "Fuck this!" I was like, "Oh, this is kind of going sideways."
To take a Happy Gilmore line, talk about your all-time biggest backfire.
Oh my god.
This is gonna be great. Drunk people are gonna enjoy it. No, they were just like, "Wow, this sucks."
I thought there was a happy ending
What's
off
wrong with
this.
you, Garner? I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm drunk too. I'm realizing the error of my ways right now.
To be a fly on the wall for that.
Yeah.
Speaking of Happy Gilmore, so you mentioned Adam Sandler
Yeah.
earlier, and I've heard from everybody that he's just like the nicest guy,
best.
always hooking up his friends. Any great Sandler memories?
So
or moments?
many. I mean, first of all, he was the first person that did my podcast, which is psycho.
That's
It's
amazing.
so great.
Yeah.
What, did you like text him? Will you come on
I
this, or
just
how's
asked
that
him.
work?
I said, "Look, I want to launch this. I want to, he's probably the best producer in the business, just in terms of like his own brand, helping other comics out, knowing what's funny." Did you guys see his special on Netflix?
Oh, it's great.
I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard
Best
from
thing
everybody
he's
it's
ever
amazing.
done.
We were shy. It was like we heard it was great, right? And we
Yeah.
go on and we were laughing our ass off. The
it's
songs
amazing.
are hysterical.
He's amazing.
If the Chris Farley one doesn't make you cry, I saw him
Yeah.
testing a lot of
Oh,
his stuff
amazing.
out at Dynasty Typewriter
Yeah.
in Westlake, and what I think is like a lot of these Netflix specials, and we were talking about it at lunch last week, is a lot of these Netflix specials are just kind of straight up, and he did something very different, and I really enjoyed it. But difference aside, the content was incredible.
So great.
Yeah.
So he, my first movie was with him was The Waterboy, and obviously, obviously a massive hit in
I love The
every
Waterboy.
respect. And then it was just a murderer's row. We did Click, Anger Management. I mean, we did. He produced Paul Blart with
Click
me.
makes me pour my eyes out
He's
every
just-
single time I watch it.
It's just I owe him everything. He's just amazing. And talk about generous. I mean, just to my family, to me personally, just
You feel like he's helped out your career,
Oh
one of
my
the
God.
biggest influences on it?
totally. In terms of just sorry.
No, go.
In terms of just learning about producing, pure like watching people work. Sandler, Joe Roth, and Jerry Bruckheimer probably are the three guys that I was like, fuck, these guys are just on another level.
Right.
And I've learned different things from each one of them. But just to watch Sandler, the way he runs his sets and the way he's just, I mean, like literally physically on a set, not a comedy set, but on his set, or just the way he deals with material and knowing his own voice and knowing, who he is and staying true to that, but also stretching and doing Punch Drunk Love and doing these other, Spanglish and these other kind of movies and stretching himself.
Really enjoy
He's
Spanglish.
he's amazing.
Yeah.
Do you feel like he's changed it all from Waterboy to now? 'Cause
Of course. Yeah, I mean, he's we were all in our 20s and now we're all in our 50s.
Was Waterboy 99? What was Waterboy?
Yeah, no, it was maybe.
I
Yeah,
think it was
think
right around
yeah.
because I know I was still in like high school or maybe it was like my freshman year of college, something
Kill me
like
right
that.
now.
No,
Just
no.
take me out
Listen,
back
I
and
love
shoot me in the
Waterboy.
head.
I was in
But
the womb, so it's fine.
I went to my cousin's football game, right? He was like in the 8th grade. And I remember him walking off the field and his dad goes, "Why can't you be more like the Water Boy?"
That's amazing.
And he turns to him and goes, "It doesn't work like that."
It's amazing.
It's just like it doesn't, but it's amazing.
I'll give you a Waterboy premiere story.
I need it.
So I loved the movie and was like super happy, proud of it. Not just because it was funny, but because it was, it was exactly what it was meant to be. Yeah. And we all worked very hard on it. We're young. I mean, we're all in our 20s. And he's one of my best friends. And so you're just rooting for him. And Jack Garaputo, who was a producer, his producing partner, he's just my best friends. And so we're just bonded in this thing. And the boss that I had when the thing started had been fired. And so we got a new boss. And he watched the movie because he had no vested interest in it, and came out of the movie and goes, "Wow, we've sunk to a new low." And I was like, okay. Oof. And the movie opened to $40 million, and 3 months later, he was fired. And I got the job with Nina Jacobson. I'm like, we're sinking to a new low now.
Some people don't have the vision.
No.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, man. That's
so,
incredible.
You have to endure that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So you said you're working on Mortal Kombat, but there's something else you're working on that I know Reilly's pretty excited about.
Yeah. Are you still working on the American Werewolf in London remake?
Yeah, we are. Max Landis wrote a great script.
Okay.
And it's at Universal, and with Dave Alpert, who's my partner on it, who produces The Walking Dead. And Max...
You got 2 diehard Walking Dead fans.
Yeah. And Max wants to direct it, and so we're just budgeting it right now and going through that green light process.
Yeah.
It's tricky. It's tricky because it falls in between horror and comedy.
Yeah.
So it's like, if it's a horror movie, Universal is so great. They have the whole Blumhouse universe, and then now they're rebooting their big monster universe. It sort of falls not really in that, and it's not really a comedy. It's sort of dark comedy. And werewolf movies haven't traditionally been like massive.
Right.
So
Is
it's an interesting time to try to budget it. Yeah.
Well, look at the original. I mean, it's such a sign of that time.
Yeah.
And it came out, and it has great horror, but then it's also really funny, but it's morbid.
But is it part of the shared universe of American Teen Wolf in London?
No.
Oh, okay.
That wasn't. Well, maybe there was
American Teen
Check
Wolf.
that off
Teen Wolf. There was never.
You guys all missed the jump. Right over.
So, Todd, we have a pitch for
No,
you.
I got it. 17 going on 70.
There you go. Yeah.
And at
Once
70,
you get
they
to
turn
20
into
going
werewolf.
on 200. So,
I'm
but
dreamcasting.
the thing about American Werewolf in London is Max had to go to his dad to get the rights, which is a fascinating thing to watch.
Wow.
And actually did, like John said, I'm treating you like anybody else who would come in to get the rights. And Max won them and wrote a great script. So we'll see what happens.
I respect that.
Yeah.
It's a big move. Todd Garner, everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah. You can find him at Todd_Garner, or his podcast over on Podcast One, or any of these movies that are coming out.
Oh.
Mark Reilly, Josh Macuga, Roxy Striar, all the wingers in the booth. That's Collider Live.
Oh, we're
We'll
trying to
see you tomorrow for a Wednesday show.